Sly Gold's enthusiasts. We are here for the final round one match of ACES 2025. These two teams have been itching on the sidelines for their chance to finally get into the action. This is not Jake, here commentating with Gnist for the Bombers versus the Knights. Gnist, what are you looking forward to today?
I'm looking forward to this match for sure. This is the most important match because the loser of this match faces up against us in the next round.
We have some self-interest.
If they lose to us, if they lose to us, they're out. So
we've got two exciting teams featuring a lot of veterans, but also some new players. The winner of this goes on to play the Sabres, who actually defeated UNIST. Do you think that's going to be a tough matchup up there too for whoever makes it?
Oh, for sure. They're looking so strong. Like, I'm not gonna say we got blown away, but that was they put up a really good fight. And Knut even PB'd in his match.
That should be illegal.
Yeah.
Today we've got some exciting things with slightly different teams on both sides. The Bombers bringing very consistent players with a pretty wide coverage. I'm giving them a major Sly 4 advantage with Powerman and Mapio covering that game really well. Unfortunately, they're Team A, so they only get to pick one episode this time in the upcoming draft. But is there anyone on Team B you think we should keep an eye out for?
For sure. Looking at the Knights today, to me, is a big unknown. I don't know very much about him, but I have heard he's very good at Slide 2 and very good at Slide 3. So, and I know Ostrava's been focusing on Slide 4 recently. As of course,
Ostrava's put in a ton of work in the last year or two, really getting some really nice episode run times. And Dide as well, obviously someone that to me is a little bit more of a quiet, unknown factor. Hasn't done full game yet, but if you look at the ACES, stats sheet by Firestar, got some really incredible episode times for Slide 2 and Slide 3. For me, Slowi, the new runner, I'm interested to see how they'll do. They don't have quite as much episode depth looking at speedrun.com, but they've put up some really solid times for being a new runner. So they're going to have to manage their draft in a way to get them an episode that they're comfortable with for today. Should be coming up to the draft here shortly. Stevens, a runner that I'm excited to see. Known for his Sly 1, but has also been participating and learning some of the other games as well. Participated in the last ACES. Excited to see what episode he's going to lean for today. Probably something Sly 2-ish would be my guess.
Yeah. The thing is, with the Bombers, I feel like they're a little bit locked. Because I can't really see Stevens doing any other game than Slide 2. And Powerman... I know we can do Slide 2 and Slide 3, but I think he's Slide 4 focused. So it'll be up to Mapio to take the whatever's left, right? And then they hope to have one Slide 2 episode and one Slide 4 episode, and then Mapio can do anything. Mapio is
yeah.
Does he have world
records in all three games? Like Mapio.
Yeah, he does.
Might be the best episode runner we have. Don't quote me on that, but certainly someone who's put in a lot of time over the last 3 or 4 years or so, however long it's been. But stay with us here on Sly Golds. Oh.
Mapio's definitely the runner to watch. He's seeded as number 2 in this tournament, if you look at the seeding. But number 1 is Bacon Man, and Bacon Man is a full game runner, while Mapio's an episode runner. So I would think Mapio is actually the number 1, probably, if you think format as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mapio putting up big results in the last ACES, has been itching, unable to participate, watching all the runs, all the previous races. Now it's his time to shine as we are into our draft stage. Like I said, the early episodes 2 and 3 are going to be important for Slowi, and they are all gone. Wow, this is an exciting first band phase, I think.
That's actually crazy. Only the first episodes of each game. That is crazy. 2-1, 2-2, 3-1, and 4-1 are all banned out here.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. I think 2-3 will probably be an important episode. That's usually a comfortable slide 2 pick for a lot of teams. I think we ran that quite a bit last ACES. But I want to see teams get weird. I want to see some weirder picks. Powerman taking someone to a late slide 4 episode could give a big advantage for him with his slide 4 experience. I'm a little bit partial for 4-3 in ACES. I think that's a very funny episode to be playing, but maybe they don't want to tempt that much RNG into the matter here as we're waiting for the Knights to complete their bans.
Absolutely. We're very cool to see 2-3 again because, or cool, I don't know if cool is the right word, because we've had 2-3 in 2 out of the last 3 ACES matches, and so far this, season, if you want to call it that. So having 2-3 again would be a bit ironic.
All right, we're seeing that the Knights have not banned their champions within the time limit. The bans are going to be transferred over to the Bombers. This is a bit unusual here for ACES. This is going to get the rest of the beginning of Slide 2 banned out. I think Slowi is really going to have to show his adaptive experience here. He's probably going to be racing something that he doesn't have much experience in. That could be a big advantage for the Bombers, but it's also a big advantage for Slowi to show how clutch they are and just really perform.
Absolutely, and I wonder what they've been practicing as well, because practicing only the early game could be very risky in a scenario, and the bans here show exactly why that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, Knights banning 2-3-2-4 probably proves that Slowi does have something he can play still. Like, they wouldn't ban out the remaining episodes of Slowi, so.
Well, we do have our first 2 picks here. We're visiting Gnist and his team in Canada for 2-6, the first John Basson episode. And with the Bombers, like I mentioned, enjoying the Slide 4 experience difference, taking Slide 4 episode 5. We're just waiting on the last pick here. But yeah, Gandyman is right. The Knights did not get to ban a single... they didn't get the ban an episode because they ran out of time. We'll see if that comes back to punish them here. Do you have any thoughts about the order of episodes here? Is there anything? We only see 2 of the episodes so far, but 2-6 is a pretty short one. I feel like that's a good one to start with, maybe.
Absolutely. And the Team A will get to pick the order. We'll see what the Team B ends up picking here. Team B being the Knights and Team A being the Bombers. So what I would do if I was Team A Bombers, I would probably choose 2-6 as the first episode.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're going to have a good old-fashioned ACES race. 1 episode from each of the 3 games. 2-6, 3-3, and 4-5. We saw 3-3 in the last race, and it caused a lot of drama. There is massive skips that are very stressful under ACES pressure with all your teammates cheering you on. I thought it might be the last episode picked for the order, and it is. We're going to be ending on 3-3 again, but starting it off with Slide 4. Most likely, you think Ostrava versus Powerman, probably, for our Slide 4 episode here?
That is what I'm expecting. So if we see something else, that would be very surprising to me.
Yeah. Dide on 2. Dide probably has to run Slide 3, so I would guess Slowi's doing 2-6.
Yeah, I think
so. Do they have a file prepared? Will they be doing that during the episode 1 race, the first race? And then for the Bombers here, Stevens most likely taking the 2-6 role, and Mapio, I would guess, closing it out with 3-3. Does Mapio have record in that episode? That would have not surprised me at all if that was a Mapio
I
record
meant to check
episode.
that, actually. 3-3 is a bit of a weird one to me. I think it's, yes, Knudi has...
Yeah, okay. Mapio, I think I noticed yesterday, has 3-1, which is very impressive. Highly contested Sly 3 episode. He loves grinding those episode ones. You know, he's all about it. He lives for
All
that
about that.
competition.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, for sure. Oh, I just hit all my tabs. No.
Well, while Ganist is recovering his setup, we are excited here for our final ACES match. Let me know in the chat who you think is going to take it. Make your predictions known. I think we're going to have a really fun, exciting race coming up here. And I'm excited for it.
I would like to mention something I read in chat a long time ago now. I think it was... is a former bomber. So he's going up against this old team.
The storyline. We almost missed out on the extreme drama. Can you imagine if I was a Saber and I had to play against you last match? It would have been former teammates. That could weigh on his conscience. That could affect his performance. Out there tonight.
Yeah.
Still practice passively.
All right, but it is looking like we are set up here. Both people getting into the hideout here for episode 5 of Sly 4. It looks like we were right with the first runners here. I would be very surprised if we got any of these wrong. Have we done a little quick PB analysis here? Who do we expect to take a small lead based on typical matters?
I have not, but I would expect Powerman as a seasoned Sly Forerunner to take the lead here, but I can do a quick check on that. I know Ostrava has been putting in a lot of effort recently into Sly 4, so he's very prepared to do Sly 4, and I think he expected to do Sly 4 today.
Yeah, it can be a smart strategy for ACES, to expand your practiced episodes, giving you a bit more coverage coming in. Powerman does have the slightly better PB, but maybe Ostrava's been more active recently. So we should have, I think, a pretty good race here between these two gents coming into the first map. Now, thinking about this episode, this is a pretty movement-based episode to me. Does that seem correct to you? How many big tricks or stopping points do we have throughout this episode here?
4-5 was always my least favorite Sly 4 episode, so the one I did not like to spend time in. I know there are some the classic ICSS is on the
ICSS.
The Rubies,
there's a lot of
coming up relatively shortly. I think it's in his very first job actually.
So. Yeah, at the very end. That will be a lot of pressure, especially under ACES circumstances. But I think this episode always has its fans. I think it's a pretty good episode, but I think for most people learning Sly 4, by the time you make it to this episode, you're kind of just like, let me do full game, or like, I need a break.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't want to play. So it's kind of classic for a lot of these games to not have the later episodes be as practiced or grinded, at least when first starting out. But we finished inside the first room here, seeing a water teleport. That's a new strat to me. Have you seen that?
I've not seen that either. No, I do know there are a lot of new small time saves in Sly 4 compared to the strats that I've been.
Using. I'm gonna be a little out of date on the Sly 4 strats as well. Apologies. But that'll just help us have cooler reactions when we see all the great techniques you guys have been improving.
Absolutely. So we see a lead change, or actually, was it a lead change? Ostrava's in the lead now anyway.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
me, like Ostrava started a little bit later based on this stream delay, and maybe he's doing the opposite order of things here, which makes it a little hard to compare. But I do believe he was slightly leading out of the very first house, as he's going to end on the picture over here now, compared to this usually being the first picture with the route I'm familiar with. Finding the right place to stand, always a little tricky when learning this game at first. You know, what's an okay place can be a little weird. I'm seeing Power Man though use Smoke Bomb. That's showing that he put in the effort, you know, to really prepare a file specifically with all the gadgets. Should help him quite a bit with little situations.
Yeah, and Ostrava got a relatively short load there. This load can
the
be
boatload. Yeah.
it's oh, you see Power Man. Okay, yeah. Yeah, relatively short load for both runners here.
Yeah, nothing too painful here as we visit Salim. Coming up, we've got some exciting splits. I have found some tiny optimizations. What's the name of the job where you climb the tower? Oh god, I'm unprofessional. Help, goodness. That job,
You're
I'm really
asking me
looking
about job names? Oh no, oh no.
Who else can I ask? Who else can I trust? It's up to you.
Go grab some splits here, but 4-5 of probably haven't used these splits in for a long time.
Ison's saying he's looking forward to Big Truck. Oh my god, Ison, I have terrible news. Something terrible has happened. We're not racing 3-2 today. I didn't think that was allowed. I thought it was required by ACES law to see one big truck per day. But somehow it didn't work out today. It didn't work out. Okay, but as I've pulled my own splits up, I am realizing that this is an episode where last I knew, the job order here after this first job could be a little different. I think for pretty similar time consequences, but it does look to me like they're both choosing to do the same job instead of doing Open Sesame would be the other one you could do early.
I'm so confused right now, but I'm pretty sure Open Sesame is the job they're doing now, and it's the only job they can do. But the next two jobs are like the only jobs in the entirety of Slide 4 that you can actually choose to do in any order. Here's some PSN menu buffer strats here that I haven't seen before.
Oh, you haven't seen the PSN? I am familiar with that. That is a little bit slower, but I think it helps the consistency a lot. So Strava shouldn't worry about missing it. And overall, probably is the smarter play. Yeah, he's getting that skip cinematic greatly. We'll see. The Powerman's doing it without. No, he's also doing it with it.
Yeah, they're both doing it here.
Using the same strat. The PSN menu is some, you know, archaic tech, some illegal. It's not illegal, but it's some spicy technique to, you know, bring in the power of the PS3 menus to help our speedrunning out. And it's funny when it helps for like input buffering like this. It can be really nice.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed, but I didn't bring it up earlier, is that I'm pretty sure Powerman is running on an HDD while Ostrava is running on an SSD, because the loads seem shorter. Not the loads when you're skipping cutscenes and stuff, but leaving the hideout seems to vary quite a bit between the runners there. So.
Yeah, that does sound right with what I know of Powerman. Just goes to show that you know, it can be nice to have, you know, the most optimal whatever, but you can really speedrun on whatever you have. Powerman has, you know, put up a lot of solid times and played this game a lot. All it takes to speedrun is any copy of the game. You know, it might not be fun to run on PS Plus or whatever that streaming service was, but you could do it if you like the games. You could be the PS Plus legend, and people would love you for that. People would think that's so funny.
Yes.
We are here.
One thing I do not.
Oh, go, yeah.
One thing I do not recommend is running Slide 4 on disk. as that is known to lose many minutes just in load times. So,
Yeah.
but
Digital.
it is fully allowed, so if that's what you have, that's where you start. That's what I would recommend.
When's the Gnist Slyfecta disc only? That's what the fans have been asking for.
Disc. How do you even play a disc only?
On a
2 or
backwards
Slide?
compatible PS3, I need you to bring your PS2 PAL Slide 2 and Slide 3 discs.
I don't even think. I think if I were to do one now, I think I would have to play on the PS3 collection, which is very slow.
Well, we are here on our first auto scroller of the level, I do believe. Episode 5. Episode 6 of Slide 2. We'll be seeing a couple auto scrollers today. The runners getting a chance to catch their breath, think about what's coming up. With some tough jobs coming up. Rugrats, Copycats. I think we're going to see some exciting gameplay coming up. Some potential for someone to establish a real lead here early on, as those could be some points where we might start seeing some mistakes or clean runners start to pull ahead a little bit.
Yeah, I'm expecting the runners to stay relatively close during this Life 4 section, as a lot of time isn't typically lost or gained in Life 4. Of course, it can happen, but I don't expect that to. Also, we can see the runners that are running 2-6 have been confirmed. It's Stevens going up against Slowi, which is also what we thought, so we are correct and
Wow,
smart.
great job,
Big brain.
commentators. We really thought that out logically, I think.
Yeah, big props to us. The runners are almost tied here going into this cutscene, and I'm expecting Ostrava to then pull ahead because of the faster hard drive.
Light load advantage, yeah.
Exactly. Sports advantage, pay to win. Can't believe it.
Random, this is not Jake, fun fact. The voice line in this cutscene where he says, "It's a me, the delivery boy," was actually a phone text notification sound I used for many years. So shout out to this cutscene. I think it's a little silly, but genuinely made me laugh playing this game. So big props to this one. Always remember, if you're somewhere you don't belong, just say, "It's a me, the delivery boy." You should be able to work it out, no problem, you know.
Goddamn. All right, we're going. I'm expecting both runners to do Rugrats here, but that is up to the runner preference.
Yeah,
Rugrats is the most exciting out of these two next jobs. So, in my humble opinion, of course.
you're not a big Up and Smoke fan, Gnist, you're telling me?
Yes.
You don't love memorizing 100 directions to hold out of Skip Cinematic?
Yeah, it's way too hard. Also, I realized it's not this job, it's the next job that are optional order. But okay.
Yeah, we're showing a little bit of Slide 4 inexpertise, but that's all right. We're going to make up for Slide 2, Slide 3 comes around when we are given the most up-to-date cut rate commentary. But yeah, our first usage of Salim movement. What do you think about playing as Salim compared to other ancestors? I think he's pretty fun.
Salim has the makeshift paraglider and the
the
super
carpet.
climb. Yeah, which I mean, it's okay. I remember when I played this episode, I did mention that this is my least favorite episode, and Salim is part of that, but he's not the core reason. But it's okay. One notable thing is that even though the carpet looks like a paraglider, it actually loses height a lot faster than the paraglider does.
Oh, really? That's a good fact to know.
Yeah, they fundamentally work a little bit differently.
We are seeing some frame jumps and unfortunate slide 4 movement curse with a slight lead change as Powerman having some slightly better movement to the trigger, but due to the load, they're pretty close again coming in. I'm excited to see how they tackle this first room. Some cool movement strats. We'll see if anybody goes for any risky stuff or if they play consistent.
Yeah, and you can see the runners restart checkpoints as soon as they enter this area. And that warps them forward a little bit, skipping the slow crawl out from the crawl space, and also sets up the cycle to be a known cycle, which
Helps a
is, I
lot.
think, is beneficiary here.
Well, they both handled that first room with pretty similar consistent strats, which is probably the smart thing to do for ACES. You would really hate to lose a lot of time going for minor time save if you're not confident in it. Coming up to the lever room, for the longest time, I tried to find a skip in this room, and the GOAT Mapio made it happen, but as far as I know, that's a pretty risky skip, so we're going to see every competitor here just break the Scorpion nest to gain access for this lever here. Before we begin the climb, which is going to have some really fun movement with Salim's upward dashing on these poles.
Yeah, I swear I've seen a lot of people try for skips in this room. There's something with this room that just feels like something can be skipped. So I remember seeing a lot of people try. So.
Gonna have to keep an eye out for these guard cycles. We do see. Wow, it didn't. I thought he would like get the restart. Like it would give him damage or something, but no, falling all the way down. If Pyroman can be clean the rest of this segment, it's gonna give him a lot of a lead just from this one job.
Yeah, and you see Pyroman doing a small little skip there where he has to backtrack to hit the checkpoint to be able to progress. Sly Game is famously known for their checkpoint system, or Sly 4 for the checkpoint system, and Sly 2 for, well, if you skip a trigger, you have to go back and hit the trigger. So
sometimes you gotta go backwards to go forwards, you know, that's what us speedrunners always say, you know, sometimes it's faster.
Sly Cooper logic right there.
Well, we are coming up to our first hack here. I believe this is motion controls, or will I make myself a fool yet again?
Strava went for small optimization there, which Pyroman did not go for.
Yeah, crossing the middle early. I like that a lot. It's a little tough with the camera. You have to kind of know what angles to hold. Loop skip. Not for Powerman, playing it safe. We'll see if Ostrava's feeling bold. He's a little bit behind, but with his loads... Oh, no, he completely... I think you got to be on the other wire to even try it, but he's a little bit behind, but he's far from out of it, you know, with clean play and his slightly better loads. He doesn't need to be panicking right now. He's just got to stick to his game and look forward to this next job.
Exactly. This is the motion sensor hack. What's it called again? I don't remember.
I don't know. This is a good hack to tell if your DS3 is legitimate or not. Because if you open this game and you try to play this hack and you cannot control it, I am sorry, but the controller you bought does not have the 6-axis or whatever movement it is.
Yes, and both winners are running on English. I don't know if that matters here, but I know it does matter for some other episodes, and it's specifically some of these hacks where it actually saves or loses time. I think English is optimal in this episode. Yeah, confirmed by Sonic in the chat.
So weird how certain languages have like slightly better cutscenes and only the hacks. That's a very unique thing to this game for sure. Very funny.
Climb halfway to the stars to rescue you.
But finally, after us being wrong about this episode 2 times, we may finally see if they're going to be doing the same route here. My splits say up and smoke first. That's how I was doing it.
I just saw Powerman pick copycats, so Powerman's is doing copycats first at least.
Oh my god. The commentary, if they're in 2 different jobs, we're going to have to be working double time here.
Oh, and that is
I
up in
think we
smoke for
are.
Strava. Oi, oi,
Oh
oi, we're getting a route
my
split here.
God. All
Can you
right.
believe it?
So you commentate Up in Smoke, and I'll commentate Copycats.
I mean, it does work because Up in Smoke is significantly shorter. But okay.
I'm kidding. But yeah, this kind of stuff does make these races exciting. We'll have to keep an eye out on both runners to see who's playing clean, who's making the mistakes. So it's going to be kind of hard to mentally keep track of who may or may not have the lead right.
Yeah, because when the split happened, Powerman had the lead. So we'll see who comes out after the route change. We'll just have to point out mistakes or cool tricks that we see.
Now, Copycats is a hard level, but I think it's a very satisfying level to master. In particular, I'm looking forward to the rooms with the water and where you have to use the slowdown mechanic a little bit from across the crates. That's a big time loss consideration in this job to keep an eye out for. A lot of the slide movement is pretty cool to follow.
Absolutely. They also have the very annoying turret section that I
don't know. Yeah.
I don't know why they would make the turret section that way, but it's okay.
Yeah. Murray's got to do something in this job, and sometimes that's man the potato gun. You know what I'm saying? That's his beat. But it looks to me like Ostrava's done pretty well in this Up in Smoke from what I've seen, handling stuff without many mistakes. As Powerman is entering these, I was mentioning, very important to make it through these with little fails. Big time loss for resetting, and once you've failed, your gadget meter can be so low sometimes you have to wait for it to like refill. It can be a big patience tester to make it through these sections clean.
For a second, I thought Ostrava got wrecked by the missiles there, and one of his bombs did get sniped, but I thought the second one also got sniped, but he made it. So. Powerman unpulsing right next to a bomb there. I wonder if he has everything under control, but
he's showing a little bit of patience. He was close to the end, but maybe not just quite close enough. This commentator is unsure if we are lead changing at this time. Oh, he's got the Murray gadget to just blitz through those barriers. That is cool. I did not notice that. I think that must be the first example of him using it. But we are coming up to the turret section.
Opting not to skip this cutscene, which can be skipped. But sometimes it is faster to watch the cutscene than to skip it.
Yeah, I do not remember which one that qualifies as, but we've got Ostrava in what is hopefully everyone's second favorite Sly 4 hack. What do you think? Or is this the worst type of Sly 4 hacking? The auto scrollers?
I think this is the worst kind. Because they're so long. That's my main issue with them. And I would like to see different bosses or types of bosses and not the same reuse boss for every time you visit this hack. But I mean, the first time playing it, I did enjoy this hack. I do remember that.
Just the speedrunner curse, some sections, when repeated as many times as we play, kind of lose the value. They lose the fun a little bit. I believe it's in episode 4 where there's a really short version of this hack. And that one, I don't think people mind that. But this episode has 2 of these, so that is maybe one negative people might hold against this episode.
Well, I think Remo is throwing some shade in the chat here, saying it's slower to watch that cutscene. So, Powerman losing time, maybe?
Minor time loss here.
Unless I got it backwards, I do not know these stats.
Yeah, I was also unsure. I assume that you interpreted it right, but I was also maybe not the most confident. We're seeing the smoke bomb strats for the passage here. I like that. Oh, nice.
That was close. Yeah, Smoke bomb makes this section a lot easier than what we used to do back in my day.
Yeah, not the hardest room, but a nervy room where one slight mistake or just not feeling confident in it can lead to it being a pretty, decent time loss with the animation of the monkey busting you. For my money, I hope we see Ostrava take the gold. What does that pirate Cooper need it for? Let's get rich, I say.
It's very important. See if Ostrava gets the he's coming up on the boss here. If he can get the one cycle on the boss.
Oh, he did.
Yes, he can.
Nice. I kind of thought it looked like he was getting off to a weird start, but he brought it home.
Yeah, some of these hacks, while they look the same, some of these hacks making the quick kill or the one cycle is significantly harder than in another one, even though they're the same boss and it's a very similar auto scroller. You can just kind of get pushed into it, but for some reason, some of them are way harder than others. I don't think this one is that tricky, but I know the one in episode 2 is the hardest. I think.
Yeah, the operation. I was just about to bring that up. That's what I remember hearing from Sly 4 running. So feel free to chime in the chat if we got that right. But it looks like Power Man is coming up towards the end of the job here for the final climb. I think this is a pretty fun movement section with a little bit of time pressure. But with these nice paraglide strats here, Power Man will be able to access the escape route, and he'll get out of here for a hack of his own, I believe. Isn't there a hack at the end of like every job?
Yes, I think so. I think so. And what's to note there is that you're supposed to use the slowdown tech using the costume, but that is slower, so we risk it all by going a little bit faster and not using the.
Yeah, if you're comfortable with the kind of, do we call it slope jumping in this game? The paraglide mashing to get up walls. I
think it has a cooler name, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah,
maybe it's just paraglide climbing or something like that.
Paraclimb, yeah. Coming into a system cracker hack instead. These hacks are pretty fun, but this one is a pretty short example of it. Only a short little burst here. Got to be careful to not take too much damage when crossing through the middle. But as soon as we get this key in here, we are basically set to go, from what I recall. So we'll finally have Ostrava beginning his copycat journeys, and we'll see how Power Man does in Up in Smoke to finally see where these teams are coming into the final sections of this episode. Do you you think Power Man's held this lead? I didn't really see any big mistakes on either sides,
I think it's still very close. So for anyone who has just joined us, the runners do not have a big gap between them. They are probably very, very close, but they chose to do the jobs Up in Smoke and Copycats in the opposite order from each other. Mm-hmm. So once they're both done with their the next job, they will be paired up again once again. I think they're pretty close. You can see Sonic also thinks Power Man did pretty well.
Yeah.
He can capitalize on Up in Smoke. And here you can see how much longer Copycats is as Power Man just now is re-entering the safe house and starting Up in Smoke, while Ostrava is well into Copycats already.
Do you think Ostrava has that Murray gadget, or is that only deep Sly 4 tech that Power Man would have?
I think he has it. I think Ostrava's up to date, so.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of the episode runs lately. It would make sense. When I did ACES, I struggled to have super optimal files with all the gadgets you could possibly want. So I was often the guy, missing a gadget that would maybe help and just trying to do my best without it. So sorry I did the Lumberjacks last year. I'm sure you're doing a better job this year bringing the team together.
I do have save files already. And I even have a notepad with what PS3 profile has which
Yeah.
episode, because mine have random names and I'm not renaming them now. Also, something very small here. If you're looking at Ostrava, when he gets into this room, he watches the super short cutscene where you enter the room. Those are skippable, but it's like one of the shortest cutscenes in the game. So
Yeah.
definitely one of those you want to watch.
Can be tricky to memorize all of those. There's only kind of a handful that we don't skip, but there are a couple which do make a difference.
And when you skip them, for example, right here, you would be without a disguise, I'm pretty sure. So you would have to go back into the disguise. And you can see Ostrava does have the gadgets.
Yeah, I think he cleared that first section maybe a little bit better than Powerman did. Getting the full charge through it doesn't matter too much, I think, with that gadget, but showing he's also prepared for these Murray tech.
Ostrava also watching this cutscene. Do you know the name of the gadget? Because I have no clue.
Sonic typed it in chat like 2 minutes ago, and I already forgot it. So we'll wait for our research team to get back to us. Yes, the research team, aka Sly Sonic, says it's called the Clothesline, which seems like a good, funny gadget. I think they did a good job making a lot of gadgets for this Sly 4 game. It's nice to see some get like weird kind of niche usage in episode runs where they would not be worth in full game.
Is that the actual name of it?
The research team indicates yes.
Well, okay. Sly 4 has a different vibe from the other games, so okay. It's just okay. Wow.
I like Sly Sonic's version a little bit better, personally. I think the Clothesline would kind of fit Murray's character, of course. He's about that. I'm sorry. I don't mean that. It's time for Ostrava coming into the sneaky section here with the guards. Oh, getting a small thud, but no big deal. Will he take the gold? Is he greedy? So far, looking like a no gold speed run. That is probably the smart play in ACES. Let's see if he has smoke bomb. I don't remember seeing him use smoke bomb earlier. Oh, okay.
Oh, well, he did use it, but he did go for some other strats and failed it, unfortunately.
No. He's just gonna go back to the trident.
Oh. This is very relatable, actually. As someone who has done this section without smoke bomb, this is how it goes most of the time.
These guys turn around fast, so making some small mistakes there, getting caught. Thankfully, it does let you retry pretty quickly.
And watching this cutscene.
This is skippable, yeah. He does get it, which I definitely think you want to not watch that. Those are pretty long from what I remember. So that's definitely going to give Powerman a little bit of a lead mindset. Not quite to the boss yet of this thrilling alter ego hack, but we'll keep an eye on that for when he gets there.
Yeah, Ostrava also fell in the water there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say what you were saying. Ostrava struggling a little bit more in this job. Unsure if he should skip this or not. Oh my goodness. Making some small mistakes, but getting close to the end of the job, and we will finally be able to see where they line up, and we'll be able to get out of this very difficult copycats job. Coming up to what I think is one of the coolest jobs in this game, Heavy Metal Meltdown. Do you like that one?
Yeah, it's probably the job I like the most as well. It's a bit different from the other jobs. It feels very fast-paced because of how you switch characters and how you do ICSS and you kind of trigger bomb and everything. It's a very cool job.
Yeah, I definitely think one of the best missions in this game with some really cool movement. There's been some developments in optimizing some of the sections. We'll see who plays things safe for ACES or who is willing to send it all. Maybe Ostrava, practicing more recently, will be going for some of the newer stuff.
Maybe. And Powerman did miss the quick kill there, but in this hack, it's not that punishing. I do think Powerman is likely in the lead here once the routes converge. But he does have slower loads, but I don't think it matters that much. It's not that
He
big.
is going to have to soft lock on his load or something, I think, for it to be close. Not that it's over yet. We've still got a lot of tough tricks coming up. The operation for this episode is a massive deal. A really punishing job for Sly4 full game to kind of not fully end on, but for the final stretch. That's going to be a big deal for these runners to do their best there. Avoid any big time losses.
Yes, and this episode actually has one of the decent boss fights for Sly4.
Yeah.
So although the operation has other issues than the boss fight, that one can.
I wonder what he is referring to. Chat room. Any ideas? Oh no, you can't pick up that key in this form. Oh, he's surrounded.
Ostrava, I think maybe he was concerned about his health and wanted to pre-kill the turret.
Okay.
But he essentially did that. I don't think it's worth it. However, but if that makes him more confident, then
I would guess it's maybe just a little bit of ACES nerves and maybe I don't know how much he's played this episode, but I would guess just a little lapse in memory. Just kind of making a small mistake, remembering all these hacks, which is not easy. This game has a lot of hacks. There's a lot of skip cutscenes. You have to remember what directions to be holding. It takes time to build that muscle.
I remember back when I ran Sly4 actively, I used to have. I always run with notes. I use a plugin in LiveSplit for notes.
Yeah.
And for every hack, I had what starting direction to hold because I can never remember, like up, left, down, right, etc. Maybe like an L shape or something like that. So I always had a description in my notes because it's impossible to remember all of them.
You get to move a lot before the game has actually loaded in to show your character. So that is really a nice skill that top level runners will really optimize in this game. But Powerman having a pretty good lead here. Let's get a time comparison for when Powerman enters the library. Looking around 35:05. We'll keep an eye out for when Ostrava also reaches. I'm guessing maybe a minute 30. Oh, Sonic's even got an earlier comparison. All right. You run the math on that, research department, and you let me know.
A minute. But I mean, it depends on where he started the time. If it was before the load, after the load, And also, the runners have different load times. One being on SSD and the other on HDD. So.
But we're here inside Myth Decibel's library. Powerman going for the safe strats here, climbing up these chains with Salim. A pretty fun job with Salim and Bentley working together to play some rock and roll. I think it has a good mixture of goofy, but also kind of makes sense as a tag team mission. What's the Gnistan 6 opinion on rock and roll? Is that what you're using in the... Are you putting on the Sly4 Miss Decibel library soundtrack for that?
If I were to put on any Sly4 music, maybe. There are some music of all time in Sly4. Some of it is even good. Let's see, 36:20, about 120 difference.
A little, maybe like a minute 20, a minute 25 or something like that. Just a little under a minute 30. But plenty of time still, even in just this episode, for more lead changes. It's up to how clean these runners can finish out. Moving on to the Bentley section. Kind of one of the more technical Bentley sections.
Yeah, very cool with trigger bomb here. He had some kind of shield thing I've never seen in my life. So I don't know what that is.
The power shield, or what's the gadget name for that one?
Oh god. Yeah.
Did you get the shot? Oh no, this hitbox is finicky. Yeah, there you
Yep, definitely. And then restarting checkpoint here to spawn back to the beginning.
go. Hmm.
One of my favorite.
He is shielded up when he's throwing the bombs.
Yeah, missed the first throw last time, so I had to shoot again here. And the camera does go crazy here, but I remember there is a camera flick you can do to minimize the damage done.
Yeah. So
And then as Bentley, you can also jump around the edge here, saving time because you don't have to blow up all these things. And
Yeah,
back
I
in
think
the
that's
day, this is one of the places where Trigger Bomb actually saves time, because in Sly 4 the guy just don't really save that much time. But this job was like the exception. This and ACES Bentley in episode 3.
Yeah, oh my god, Ice Bentley. I wanted to see 4-3, guys. What happened? Jake's on comms, can't run 4-3. Ice Bentley would be so hype.
Yeah, absolutely. Strava did miss the ICSS there after going for it a few times, so that is a little time loss. But I don't think the ICSS saves that much here. It saves a little bit, but not very much.
Yep, a small mistake, but hard to say if he really gained much time at all from these jobs, especially with that ICSS. Maybe a slight widening of the gap, but still, I think he did pretty well finishing out the Bentley section here. Just got to do the final movement with Salim, and we'll be heading into the operation. Oh, wait. Oh, he's doing this one last. Okay, a slight mistake from your trusty commentary team. He's bombing himself. Be careful.
Yeah, there was a little bit of different routes within the job here. Powerman going into the operation now, and this operation is long. We're talking, what, like 10-15 minutes? It's pretty lengthy. Why did he bomb himself? I have a feeling it was not on purpose.
No, that's totally 100% a strat. You just don't understand.
You just don't get it.
But yeah, one of the longest Sly 4 unskippable, I mean, the longest Sly 4 unskippable cutscene, right? Kind of nice that Sly 4 has like a bathroom break, I guess, at the end, if you need it.
I mean, I guess, but at this point, you're so close to the end, it's kind of like, oh,
yeah,
I guess I can pee, but I'm done in like 20 minutes. So
compared
30,
to the Sly 2 Lumberjack games, you know, it's not quite that level optimal, I guess.
Yeah. And now we have the Sly 2 with cutscene skipping as well, being available for PS4 and PS5.
When will we go to the bathroom now, Gnist? When do we go to the bathroom now?
Yeah. Well, do you have to? The run is only 4 hours now. No, 3.5 hours now, and not 5,
That is
4.5. But if you really have to, there's like a 1 minute cutscene in episode 3 Operation still. 2-3.
Episode 3. Oh, yeah, that's not skippable. I still haven't really, sadly, put much time into that version. Seems cool.
You can skip it, but Roshan is still just there monologuing. Even though you press start, you break some animations, but it's still just like a 45-second rant.
He's gonna give a speech. He's been practicing that speech for weeks. He's gonna say the speech, okay? You cannot cut him off.
As we see Powerman in the dancing section, the very fabled dancing section, maybe the most iconic moment in Sly 4. And he does decide to give the guards what they're after.
A known shaker Powerman, I think we all know this. He's in it for the money, you know. He's gonna take the coin advantage, sure. But what do you think? Is Strava a shaker? Do you have any intel?
I do not have any intel, and it seems to be almost down to principle whether you shake or not. So some runners never do, and some runners always do. That's my experience. Also, a fun fact, you can see Strava skip a cutscene there, starting this job. You skip that cutscene by pressing circle, if I remember correctly. If you press pause before the cutscene starts,
yeah,
I think you soft lock. It's not good, at least.
It has to be it's a precise frame window. It's like it's not guaranteed if you're pressing start. but it will happen to you. Most new runners learning the game, and from there, do you have to load or do you have to quit the game and reopen it? It is a big time loss, either way. So.
I'm not sure, but one thing that is different between Sly 4 and the other games is that if you soft lock or hard lock or whatever halfway into a job, and then you exit out and go back into the game, you actually resume basically where you left off at the last checkpoint. You don't have to redo the entire job. Like if you soft lock in Slide 2 or Slide 3, you have to do the entire job over again. So that's very nice, at least if you're unlucky and actually get a crash.
Yeah, we are seeing Ostrava boldly staking his claim that he is not a shaker. It looked like he was just intentionally damaging Carmelita. He might just completely be against this whole operation. But he's got to be careful not to die, as unfortunately, as much as I like his strike, dying would make you dance more. You would have to restart, unfortunately. There's no escaping this damn dance. You have to do it.
Yeah, and it doesn't save or lose time regardless of what you decide to go for. It's purely down to preference. There are some coins you can get, but this late into the run, it doesn't matter. Even in
personally, in my Sly 4 any percent route, I like to hit the thief net between episode 5 and the epilogue. I'd like to buy the clothesline right around. Really use it to my advantage for the Paris epilogue, personally. But, you know, that's a bold strategy. I don't recommend that for most runners.
The clothesline. The new best gadget for Sly 4.
We do have Power Man a decent bit into this fabled long cutscene. He's getting to see the deep, dark secrets of this episode. It's a blimp. He will be starting his adventure on the rest of the operation, which is actually a pretty fun section from this point on. A lot of challenging stuff. I do believe there's one more short hack, but this hack is very small compared to most of the ones in the game, so not a big deal. Be looking forward to see how he handles this section.
Yeah, it's if I remember correctly, after this hack there is a car section and then a vent section with the car, and then it's a hack. Now I wonder, is this one of the hacks where you want to do a specific entrance? Because there are some hacks, but I think those are mostly in episode 3. Or maybe it's this one. I don't remember. It'll be exciting to see.
Is the RC car dressed as a chicken right now? I'm not zoomed in enough. A mouse? Is it a mouse?
It's a mouse, and it even has a squeak button you can press to make a squeaking sound. I think it's square. Is it square?
I love it when games let you like honk, or in this case squeak. You know, I think that's a real big plus to any sort of driving section. Gives you something to do. Well, it's kind of a slow RC until you get in the vent, where it gives you the boost, and there's quite
apparently
a bit more.
It was circle, not square. But also in the big truck in Slide 3, you have the option to honk, which separates the boys from the men, as they say.
Do you? I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, you have to claw. I think, isn't it triangle or something? You have to claw to do it. Actually, maybe it's square.
Claw grip just to honk.
Yeah, I
do
it just to honk. It's true.
Big style points. The judges are gonna love it.
But unfortunately, there is no 3-2 today. So no more honking.
I'm excited to see the stats on what's been the most picked episodes. I think those are fun stats to see in the ACES. See how it'll compare to ACES 1. Are people bringing in new strategies with the draft, or are people still just playing mostly comfortable stuff? Powerman using a nice damage boost technique there. You saw him drive right through that firewall, laser wall, with taking a bit of damage beforehand. Lets you just breeze through it. So let's see the hack here. The final hack of Sly 4. A bomb boost. He's bringing out the tech. That was sick.
That's big.
And, we
And yeah,
finished-
there were no pausing shenanigans entering this hack. I do know some of the hacks you want to pause, or do you want to not pause? Well, you know, I don't remember.
Maybe you
Oh.
pause if you're not on English. Slide 4 hacking is weird. Research
Yep.
team, get back to us on that.
For a second, I thought Power Man crashed because I know you can crash in this job, but
Yeah, I
It's
got a little
okay.
bit
We
of
good.
lag. I love that strat there where you just drive straight over the lines, and I don't even know if it like saves time, but it just looks cool. Like the developers know, like you don't have to jump to the left line. Just you just run straight over it. I think
yep.
it's got style.
And Sonic with the Intel in chat, you want to pause in episode 3 Operation Hack on non-English. So you were onto
Yeah.
something with the non-English.
Yeah, it's you think I'm crazy, but I do remember Tituary races or stuff. There's a bit of VC memes regarding that hack that I do remember. So the game like mutes itself or something. Like you're not allowed to talk during that hack.
Yeah, and now we can see Power Man at the section where he has to pick up a bunch of rats and throw them at these 2 turrets or gas things. And believe it or not, this is very easy to lose time. There's so many ways to lose time in this section. Getting hit is one way.
Yeah.
Another way is to throw a guard and it hits a floating coin and it hits the coin and it doesn't end up hitting the turret. It's yes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those rats have pretty annoying attacks. It's easy for them to like fly in front of you and the aggro of what Murray's throwing at. Definitely an annoying section, but we've got to give a big Sly Golds thank you to a raid from Alapo. Thank you very much for joining us today. We're here in episode 1 of our final round 1 ACES matchup here with the Bombers versus the Knights, as these guys are close to finishing episode 5 of Sly 4. We're bringing up the next scam here for Stevens. Getting stuck a little bit on the ledge there. There's a little bit of a cut. The bumper cars.
Slowi might crash if he's unlucky here.
Really? Is that possible? Oh my god.
Yeah, if he gets stuck between 2 of those,
the motion
and you
controls.
end up, if you end up all the way in between, you might actually hard lock. But didn't end up hard locking, so.
I'm a fan of bumper cars and everything, but we got to be careful if hard locks are involved. Definitely, something with those motion controls can just be a little control, and a slight mistake in those bumpers can lead to big punishment, unfortunately.
Yes, and Ostrava almost exited to hideout, but did catch himself there. Power Man is in the boss fight now, and you can see that he ends up damage abusing a lot, because this boss fight can be sped up by taking damage at certain times, basically throughout the entire thing. So he's not messing up. He's just going fast. For a second, I thought
I'm getting distracted by Stevens taking a head start. He's blitzing out of the safe house.
Yeah, exactly. I thought we had a full start there for a second.
He's doing cabin crime CSS as we speak. He's an absolute madman. But Power Man handling Miss Decibel well so far.
And Power Man having invisible lightning orbs right now. There are no lightning orbs visible, but they are still. Oh, and he got hit by one.
No, you absolutely the commentary curse.
Yeah, this pressure right there, that is on me. I am sorry.
Oh god, it is an absolutely terrifying thing of this operation that you have to keep an eye out for. If Ostrava is able to clear that section, help bring back, shorten the lead a bit going into 2-6 here for our next episode. Is Power Man, is this the final section? I believe he's on the final boss. There's a lot of, like you mentioned, strats here to bait her into attacking, to get her to fall on fast, taking damage in later sections. It can be a lot to learn and memorize, but this is a pretty satisfying boss fight when done right.
Yeah, for sure. And I did mention damage abusing, but you're right. Also, running forward to make your do like a melee attack does speed up
Mhm.
this section as well.
He's absolutely camping the corner, as you should be. I'm getting a little bit of lag. I don't know if it's me or you. Oklahoma internet, not the best at times. Not the best. We're trying out here.
That might be on you. I'm not buffering right now, so. I believe Power Man is on the final section of the fight now, so just one more to go and until we're into Slide 2.
Just got to lead him into this final pillar here. He's managed his health really well. Oh, as I say that, he takes damage, but maybe not doing all the optimization damage takes he could have done, but playing safe, never a bad idea in this boss. And we have swapped. Slide 2 fans, make some noise. We are here in Canada. Who's ready to see some Lumberjack?
Yep, GG to Power Man. And it might look like a false or like a early start there, but I do know that Power Man had some buffering, so that feed was a little bit behind. So I don't think there was any foul play involved here.
It's just how the Discord delay works sometimes. It look a little weird.
Opting not to go for the cutscene skip here, probably for the better.
Only maniacs attempt that cutscene skip, Nis. Only maniacs.
Shoutouts to Tootsie from last match, even though he missed it.
Yeah, it's still really cool to even be trying stuff like that. Cool text. Oh, we are bringing the old school game recording here for Slowi. Did you ever do runs like this, Ganis? Do you have the webcam pointed at the TV tech? This is going to be hype.
I actually did for about 1 or 2 weeks in December 2014. I did run with webcam, and it was
Hell
not
yeah.
a good angle like Slowi has here. It was a much worse angle.
Showing like half the screen, like a lot of the floor.
No, it was like almost from like straight below, so it was very weird.
Yeah.
So Stevens is taking the pictures here into Cabin Crimes already.
Mm-hmm. Giving him a nice lead. Let me look at Steven's episode 6 experience. I know he's done full game Slide 2, and as we mentioned, Slowi does not have any uploaded runs of this episode. So this would be a good chance for his team to really chip in and help out on voice comms if they're communicating, giving just advice or tips for maybe things that he's forgotten. But he's also had an hour to practice, so we'll see if he's been able to use some of that time well. Getting stopped by the train here, a little unfortunate. Kind of some shenanigans with waiting in the safe house so long.
Yeah, so sometimes you want to either go directly from a load or pause or
PS3 menu. Yeah.
So you don't end up with unfamiliar cycles in the section. And GG to Ostrava. I'm being done with Slide 4. We can probably change. Oh, that's not up to me. But
we got the game categories up to date. Yeah, good run by both our runners. Solid run. I didn't actually pay attention to see what times they got, but I think Power Man had a pretty clean run.
Absolutely, and Stealth Slide is very big in episode 6 here. You can build up a lot of speed on the uneven terrain in episode 6 and episode 7 specifically. A lot of slopes that you can easily build up speed on, and the big one you could see there Stevens do a little while ago. And let's see if we get any white locks.
Oh, you're right. It is that cabin. Yeah, he's been moving fastly. We got to be careful for that. Don't want to lose 6 minutes or whatever it is. But Steven's handling this first job well. In this episode, we're going to have a big pressure point coming up with Spice in the Sky and Friend in Need, both extremely punishing jobs. I'm excited to see how Stevens has done it. He's got a pretty solid episode 6 time from his full game stuff, so definitely expecting him to set the pace here this episode.
Yep. And you can see Slowi not making the cycle here, as he did not know where to run, or probably did know where to run, but took him a
Oh my
second.
God.
And that to
Do
me,
you see what Bacon Man just typed in chat?
oh,
Do you see? Oh no.
I'd missed that completely, and he did indeed not pick up the blueprints, and that is probably a proof that he has not done episode 6 very much.
Yeah.
That was what I was the same point that I was trying to make there with not knowing where to run immediately, because if you run this episode, you do know that you have to run if you want to make that cycle. So, but missing a little cycle does not matter as much as picking up the blueprint here.
Yeah, it's so weird that they let you even like leave without it. I
Yeah,
guess it's nice
that's-
that the game doesn't tell you. He's gonna have to be careful with Basan and try not to let this bother him for the rest of the run here. We do have Stevens coming in to the famous Spice in the Sky CSS. He has his fake floor set up. If he nails this, I can't imagine Slowi has experience with this. This is going to really give him a big lead. Did he hold circle long enough?
That was pretty short. So
Yeah, he
let's
was-
see.
He's
What you
gonna
want to do there is set your position above the... Yeah, it worked. Set your
Good,
position
good,
above the death plane and then clip into in the cutscene and die. With fake floor.
Yeah, one of the, I guess at this point, this strat is considered old, but it was new to me, damn it. In my speedrunning arc, in my speedrunning career, this was revolutionary. One of the, last big time saves found from just like a straight up fake floor cutscene skip. A really cool tech, but it does bring a lot of nerves to what is otherwise, maybe you could say, a chiller episode in the full game run. Friend in Need can be very punishing, but otherwise, things typically compared to other episodes are a little chiller here. I think maybe that's what makes it a good ACES pick. Although with Spice in the Sky now, it's maybe just... Oh my god, no, the fabled latched. I learned about this from Muganist. What just happened? What happened to Stevens?
Yeah, he hit the frame or like the sort of corner there, and if you end up sniping that corner, that does not count as on the train, I guess, and you just die. Because you want to land on the train, on the final part of the train. It doesn't matter if you hit on the red dot or if you hit on the latch there, but if you hit on the corner, that doesn't work.
Yeah, the side of the latch, for some cursed reason, is not recognized by the game's programming as a safe spot. It really is kind of precise to find that, but it does happen quite a bit, unfortunately, the slide 2 runners. Pretty punishing. Slowi not knowing the backup either, going kind of a weird route. He's getting beat up by the Moose. Ganis, take it easy on this guy. He's new to this episode.
Okay, we're turning down the Gnist pressure here.
Thank you.
We can't be cruel either. But yeah, that death in Spice in the Sky is an iconic death, and many runners have done that. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Both runners running on Korean here, which is the optimal version.
Stevens, in a bit of a weird situation here, accidentally took an extra bounce. He's going to have to finagle this safely here. I think he's done it well. Sorry.
Yeah, he can drop here.
Good.
Definitely going safe. And as you mentioned, both runners running on Korean, which I was going to say is optimal, but then I remember they're both running on PS3, which is actually not optimal for episode 6.
But I believe for ACES, right, it was decided that Slide 2 will be played on PS3. Was that? Am I wrong? Am I bringing up?
They can play on whatever version they want, but if you're running on PS4 or PS5, you cannot run the version 1.0, which has the cutscene skipping mechanic.
Right, yeah.
UCSS, as some would like to call it. So you can still play on PS5 or PS4 if you want, and that would be the optimal version, but you cannot play on version 1.0.
Makes sense. Makes sense. That's the right way to handle it. We'll see. Slowi, I think, making sense. Not going to be attempting the Spice in the Sky cutscene skip. If you're joining us late, Slowi, a newer runner, a lot of solid times, but unfortunately, he only has 3 submitted runs to speedrun.com, like 3 episodes, I mean. And those episodes were all target banned. And then the Knights lost their ban by being slow, and they really put Slowi in a difficult spot where he's racing very unfamiliar territory. Watching the cutscene is just the right thing to do. This is an extremely difficult cutscene skip to learn in 1 hour or whatever you have.
Cannot, you cannot do this in 1 hour. And Stevens broke the chimney here and went for the faraway backup chimney. I think the other chimney on the other building is better.
Yeah.
Because now you have to carry the fake collision all the way into the cutscene from even further away. You can also see he was not ready for the fake collision either. Fake collision is when you activate the fake floor.
Yeah, he did fall. Luckily, he fell in a spot where he got warped back to his spire point instead of having to like fully load. But he did successfully get the cutscene skip here, leading Carmelita and a friend in the need, as we like to call it around here. Handling the first lure well. We've got 2 big lure strats to keep an eye on. The first one is success.
That was good. Now the lure strat number 2 is a lot riskier than the first one.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Stevens wants to go for that one.
Slowi's in trouble, but he's good save.
Yes, he can still save it. Yeah.
Gonna have to do the big loop. Yeah, I don't think you should go to the left. Making the smart adjustments.
Technically, he could hit any of these trains. Doesn't matter which one. There's no set order. But you do want to leave on the train that is right next to a friend in need.
Yeah.
If you're doing that job
right
after.
Last is nice. You know, if he wasn't doing the cutscene skip, do you remember? Is it optimal? Friend in need first. I remember that used to be kind of a set of jobs that were flipped around before the cutscene skip.
Well, I'm assuming he's not doing the other cutscene skip either, or maybe it's not. It's a very basic cutscene skip, so maybe he's going for it.
Yeah.
So it depends on if he's going for that or not, I think. But it's basically a toss-up between which jobs are faster if you're not doing very specific strats like certain cutscene skips.
It does look like Stevens is having a pretty good lure too. The flashlight guard is still alive, so Carmelita's going to take a little time to kill it. But for lure 2, you cannot complain about that. Really, getting a nice successful lure, bringing Carmelita close to the end here. Now, the only thing I was thinking, Slowi, is he's run Slide 2 Episode 1 and Slide 2 Episode 2. To me, that indicates no fake floor practice, unless he's out here doing rat fight skip, which would be very impressive. But for a newish runner, that would also be psychotic. But maybe he's got the rat fight skip experience.
I just had a little brain jolt there. Actually, I think you might actually be familiar with rat fight skip.
Okay, well, maybe he'll be comfortable.
Back in my day, we used to do fake floor in episode 2 to skip the boardroom roll cutscene. But obviously, that has been obsoleted probably 10 years ago now. So
I do
or
like
9.
that strat though. I was sad to see that strat go. That strat was fun.
Yeah, it's but I would expect Slowi to have experience with other episodes too. But
yeah, there's a chance, he's probably done a little bit of 3-3, 2-3, or maybe 2-4 as well. So especially if he's done 2-4, then he's got a lot of fake floor experience.
He is going for the cutscene skip here.
Yep, he is getting up here. Gotta be careful for that duck. We'll see how he handles it. He's going far right. Doesn't matter at all. Spiral dive for his style points.
Yeah, almost turned the camera too soon there, but it worked.
Hmm.
Starts jumping early. It's probably smart if you don't know exactly where the
Yeah, a safe
boundary is.
I think he's done it. Yeah, like you said, compared to Spice in the Sky, a lot simpler, but Slowi handling it really well. You know, using safe
that's
early
clean.
double jump strat, pulling off a cutscene skip in an episode he hasn't run before. And Stevens unfortunately gets sniped. Oh my god, he took damage setting up, bringing Carmelita back to the box, and then when those guards are kind of dancing around, you it's a safe spot, but sometimes Carmelita can get like slightly bumped to a location where she can, have her stormtrooper aim finally go away and make. Unfortunately, that happening there to Stevens, but still got the big lead as Slowi did not have strat for the first section. We'll see what his GSMing is like. He might lose a little bit of small time with guards almost walking into the light there.
Yep.
This job is so annoying to learn. You're not allowed. That's a time loss because, he's just trying to see what's going on. But because of that, in slide 2,
Yeah.
he's spawning flashlight guards.
It's very easy to get spotted if you're not careful. So, and you can see Steven's using his smoke bomb strats here, which you can do 20 seconds after the picking up the picking up the key to lose Carmelita sooner.
Smart little tech. Kind of a very quirky thing to think about, but maybe the first bit of the smoke bomb revolution we discovered. Smoke bomb going on to have crazy value in the slide 2 speedrun in situations like the Dimitri fight. This might be the first instance of like smoke bomb directly saving time, other than as a backup. When you get caught by guards or something like that.
Yeah, could be. It is a very direct kind of time save. It's very easy to see why it saves.
Oh, Slowi!
My god.
He's having a little bit of fun, and he did not expect Carmelita's speed. She's coming in quick. We gotta be careful.
Yeah. If he gets spotted here, he has to do the entire luring sequence over
The
again.
whole auto scroller again.
Yep.
Oh my god. Gotta be careful not to get too far away here either. I think he's okay. Is he okay? Yeah, I think he's okay. I didn't see where Carmelita was at. That's my bad. He is getting in a fight with these Canadian geese, the toughest of all animals. Be careful.
Yeah, these fellas have 60 health. Takes forever to kill. Wait, 60? Yeah, 60 health. Takes forever to kill.
Carmelita does not care about the WWE SmackDown happening 5 feet away from her. She's on a mission to check in on Murray, make sure he's okay. Does he have any snacks? Things like that. We do have Stevens into our first Bentley mission here. The first train robbery. This is a fun job. What do you think of?
I like the Bentley jobs. I'm interested to see if he will use what's it called even, hover pack at all. But assuming
he does
he's
have
not.
it, right? He does have it.
Yeah.
Can't think of too many places. I think there probably is some Tootsie strat or something that maybe finds value, but Adrenaline Burst is the big gadget here. You want to cover these horizontal spaces, and some fun laser floor jukes here. Doing it backwards.
But right here is a pretty common place to.
Yeah, that's smart.
And other places would be to cross the laser more smoothly, but it is a pretty slow movement.
Slowi taking a super direct route on his stealth slide as we switch back to him for the lure.
That was some baller movement.
Spicy. He is, he's over 50% health, so he'll be able to take one shot here. Oh, but he doesn't want to take it there. That's going to be sketchy. We'll see if Carmelita plays nice, or if she.
We'll see if he uses smoke bomb as well.
Yeah, it would be something maybe his comms could, his teammates could coach him through, but he's not going through it. Maybe he doesn't even have it. He's getting the health there, which is nice, but he's still one-shot kill. Can he get back up safely? Yeah, I think he's good. So that's good.
one of the reasons we did not use this cage initially, some speedrunning history here, is because you can die fairly easily, as you could see Stevens do earlier. We used to use the hook on the side of the mountain before. Oh, we see some smoke bomb there by Slowi, so he does have smoke bomb at least.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe he didn't.
he didn't
time
have
it.
enough gadget or something. Like I don't know. He did get a healther at this point.
It is pretty. If you don't like have a timer to use, it's pretty like you don't know when to use it, right? So,
Yeah, you definitely got to have your own live split running or something.
yeah, which maybe the comms could help with if he doesn't have one.
Mhm. We do have the back-to-back Bentley jobs
Oh.
here. This one, oh, he doesn't know. You're done. You're done with
You
the
got all the
pickpocketing. He just wanted to hang out with Carmelita a little bit, which some Sly fans may understand. But we've got Murray free, and he's ready to get into this Bentley action as well. Bringing on a very different kind of job here for aerial assault. I love this job as the loudest job in Sly 2 history. You just love to
Yep.
turn your speakers into dust. Just crank it up on this one and get some good old kind of shoot 'em up action.
It's if you're used to Sly 3 though, Sly 3 is way louder. Sly 3
Yeah.
is comically loud. So one thing that I didn't look for, sometimes you can get a bomb to hit two of these, I guess, missile launchers.
Yeah.
I didn't see if Stevens went for it or got any. But the very first set is a very consistent and easy one that you can save one bomb by sniping.
hmm
Slowly waiting for the train here.
Yep. Good to be better safe than sorry, especially for these train hijacks. If you miss it, you just stand there and wait for it to slowly leave the map pane.
Yeah,
Pretty
and we can
tough.
see he does not have hover pack.
Yeah.
There's a
Unfortunately,
visual,
the inexperience showing up here. But yeah, I do think it's cool in Slide 2 how you can visually see the hover pack. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Does either Slide 3 or Slide 4 have gadgets like that? I can't. The research team will hit us up with some examples, I'm sure, if there are any. But
Yeah, nothing's coming to mind right away. Even like silent obliteration, you can't really see unless you try and kill a guard or paraglider until you press
Yeah.
R1 in the air. So, and I was thinking of like auto fire and stuff with Carmelita as well, but even then you have to actually shoot or go into the menu to see.
how did the guards catch Slowi there? He was finding like the safest route, and the guards are like, "I see him, get him!" And they're like, "Oh wait, never mind. What was that?" I don't
think
care anymore.
I think it was from the rooftop guards. Maybe it's the
Yeah.
birds. I don't actually didn't look for it.
And maybe they do react to those swooping birds a little bit. Yeah, that does sound vaguely familiar. But we're coming up to some fun Murray action here on Steven's side.
Oh.
Busting out the fist of flames. What an absolute madman. You might as well
Wanting
turn
some-
that back on. You got to get this guard now.
It's going for the
Having
getting
some
the
struggles here,
chap-
but with this job, it doesn't matter. On this job, it doesn't matter at all. As long as you
Exactly.
can beat the train and still have some gadget left over. You can't use all your gadget if you want to be able to do this cutscene skip here. He's lining it up. He had a little bit different of a starting point to me, but I think that was likely good. Yeah,
Yep.
perfect.
It worked.
Kind of using the ropes in the background as a slight visual cue for where to aim. Bump Murray into the job trigger and then back onto the train tracks, letting him get run over by a train, which sounds gruesome and is, but it is very helpful for skipping a pretty long cutscene skip. This was a pretty notorious one, originally having a Thunderflop version. Oh my god. But this Berserker Charge strat's adding so much more consistency and safety, leading to a massive full game gadget route reconstruction here.
You can also see Stevens is using Atlas Strength as he can run with the bear cub. Back in my day, we didn't have Atlas strength, but Atlas strength is acquired. And we can run.
Helps so much for these carrying sections. The GSMing doesn't matter as much. You get caught. You can just show him your sprinting speed.
Oh.
He does get caught by this guy though. Slight problem, but
Yeah, you want to GSM this part, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
GSMing, you know, it might be important after all. Actually, on second thought, maybe you want a little bit of GS, but able to fix it out easily with strength.
And we'll see Stevens run back to the safe house here instead of load.
Yeah, one of the
Even though
very
loading
rare.
would be faster. Wait, no.
No,
Loading is not
running
faster.
back's faster. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I was about to say
I was
it's like maybe one of the only situations in the game where you run back to the safe house actually playing as Sucker Punch intended. Getting beat up a little bit here by the flashlight guard on the
More-
way.
The more I think about it, actually, I think you do save time by loading, but the train messes you up, and that's why you don't load.
Oh, that might be why. Yeah.
On PS5, we load, and then we do a super jump strat on the train to warp
Oh,
to the.
that's super jump school. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
By PS5, I mean, you know, cutscene skipping. Yes.
Oh, he's damage abuse. Is he gonna miss the train? No, he's gonna be okay. Slightly sketchy, but no problem at all as long as you get on that train before it drives by. Slowi coming towards the end of his shoot 'em up adventures. Gotta handle these last couple screens here. It looks like he has maybe one or two more to go based on my memory of these things. His health's a little low, I'm noticing, so he's gonna definitely want to be safe on the last one. I've never
look
died
at
in
this.
this.
Stevens
my
going
God.
through the cabin with almost no health.
He's got to make this glitch high
If
jump
he gets shot
fast.
here, okay.
Nice. He's okay. And now that he's on the roof, I think he's pretty home free on this job. Yeah. Getting down safely.
Death on the Range is one of the shortest jobs in the game, so
Yeah.
short one there. And then we do almost a replay for the operation, which is a very similar layout.
Yeah, only some very small differences, but the key important points, again, being those kind of glitch high jumps to get on top of the train. There's that damage abuse right when you spawn in. Maybe he'll be going for that, which is very nice if you find getting on the train a little awkward or clunky. Slowi doing the smart thing. For some reason, I always want to reset the game after aerial assault. I think it's just because of
Yep.
the long load.
Classic.
But
Been there, done that.
It's bait. It's bait. It's a trap. As it
Definitely.
is just a long load, and you already reset the game for the previous Bentley job. Doesn't look like Slowi has Berserker Charge, and he's going kind of an old school route here. Yeah, unless he has Turnbuckle. Oh my God, was that a train? That's scary. He does have Turnbuckle.
He does have Turnbuckle, yeah. Well, it does seem
Is
like
he gonna
is
try?
going for it.
The
I
train's
think it's too-
coming.
Yeah, it's too late now.
No.
The
Does
train
he
is
know?
already passed.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. Unfortunate, but again, just a little bit of the inexperience showing. You know, it's the kind of cutscene skip where you could maybe almost coach him through it in comms, but being too slow to get there was the big problem in that situation.
Yep. We'll see if Stevens gets the good RNG on the Nila later. We'll also get to see Stevens mashing. If he can get up on this door.
He is
Just aim a
American.
little
That
bit.
could be a problem. I'm allowed to make that joke.
He wants to go a little bit
Of
further to the
course.
right, but yeah, good.
Yeah. Just being one of the best smashers we have, he'll be able to give good scores, good commentary for the mashing. Nobody went for music box. That's a little weird, don't you think, Innes? Think of the time saved.
Absolutely.
I hate
The,
that cutscene skip so much. I'm sorry.
No,
Please
I actually
continue.
really like it, but it's not in any percent.
It almost saves enough time for episode runs, but not quite.
Ooh, does that work? That does not work.
No.
Slow has
Nope.
to go back for the cup here.
He did notice it at least, which is good, rather than
Yeah.
run all the way.
Yeah, but that cutscene skip is actually, it's so satisfying when you get it, but it's very frustrating to miss. Apparently it also works with the Rage Bomb, which is also 100% gadget, so that doesn't help us.
Uh-oh,
Oh.
bear beat down. He's gonna have to gam it. Yeah, it looks like he understands how to use the camera, and with Atlas strength,
Yeah.
only one hit, he's gonna be able to get out of there, no problem. As Stevens is taking on the first Nayla phase here.
Yeah, the mashing is a little bit inconsistent, I can hear. So I wonder what method he's using.
Is there any chance he's using a spoon? Do you think spoon mashing may be in play here?
I don't think so. Oh, as we see Slowi getting a trophy here.
Yeah, I also
Congratulations.
saw that. His first episode 6 playthrough. Maybe he's spoiling the
Oh.
story for himself. Do you think he even knows the plot? Oh. No, but that's classic speedrunner, you know, getting a new PS3, like unlocking a lot of trophies on new users when you're playing and stuff. If you forget to turn it off, it can be optimal. Oh, a little bit of problems here. Does he have smoke bomb? No.
Stevens decided to go straight through the guards instead of around, which is what I would recommend.
Manly. Straight through.
Yeah.
But he's got to be careful. He's one health.
Yeah,
Oh, good juke. No.
And he's dead.
Tough.
Unfortunate.
Thankfully, I mean, it is a big time loss, but
Yeah, big. I don't see the Bombers losing from here, but it's
yeah,
not
with
all about
Mapio,
winning.
with Mapio in the chamber, Diddy and Mapio both the two best runners for their respective teams, but we do have 3-3 though, is the only thing I will bring up, where both of these guys are great runners, but you could get wild and easily, like we saw with some of the action yesterday, with Windmill, Firewall,
What?
Mugshot, CSS, whatever that, Beauty and the Beast, yeah.
Did Mappa just change his language? To like, I'm looking at
missed that.
the picture-in-picture here, and I think he just set it to some like random language. Anyway,
He's playing in Spanish. Oh my god.
he definitely wants to set up 50 FPS for a 3-3, which is what I was assuming he was doing, but maybe I should have paid more attention.
Oh yeah, for the rowboats? Is that why?
Yeah.
Oh,
Slowly solo here.
Danger.
He's
surrounded.
He's going through the cabins and not
Yeah.
not on top.
You know, getting on top of the train isn't the hardest thing, but if you don't have the practice or the experience, finding that like flat landing spot can be a little weird. He's going a little bit.
Yeah, it's a bit
close.
It's a bit weird to hit because he's kind of in the middle of the door. He's going a little bit too. He actually looked good where he was aiming there.
And once they're
maybe a little
firing
bit-
at you, it's tough. Okay, we got a ladder here. It's gonna help out, but we do have to get on the roof one more time. And Stevens doing pretty well, I think, on the last Nayla fight, as we are finished.
Yeah, I completely missed it, so it must have been a very fast fight.
Slowi was bringing some action. We're sorry, Stevens. Good episode 6 run from you. And we are into Sly 3-3 to bring it home while Slowi still.
Yeah, smoke bomb would be. Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah, if you keep smoke bombing, just keep going. You're gonna be. You can't take a melee attack. Maybe you could take one. He's good.
Yeah, he's good here. So GG to Stevens, finishing up slide to episode 6. Now Mapio's into 3-3, playing in Spanish, which is not faster. If anyone has an optimal version on their bingo card, you can probably check that off.
Is it optimal if you're NTSC North America or whatever? If you don't
maybe.
have a PAL copy, do you play
But
this
I-
link?
maybe,
This
but
episode in
I-
Spanish?
Maybe, but I did see a health and safety screen, so it's definitely not on NTSC.
Yeah, he's got a big lead, and he's maybe
Maybe Matthew's
with-
throwing for content here.
A
One sound
speedrunner?
lock,
No,
and it's
no.
Que mañana nos toca volarlos en pedazos.
one sound lock, and it's anyone's game here.
Yeah.
Qué curioso,
Wild
tú por
3-3
aquí.
is a great
Nunca creí que te fueran los
ACES
aviones.
episode. It does get off to a slow start, as any runner will tell you. I think it feels casually very cool and cinematic, you know, scoping out the
Bentley cree que
hotel,
podrías tener una
talking
copia
to
de las
Dimitri.
alineaciones de ACES. ¿Es eso cierto?
This ranks very highly on my Sly 3 episodes, personally. I think a lot of people like this one.
Los dos
Yeah,
sabemos que vas a decírmelo.
3-3 was
No
my
querrías
all-time
molestar a
favorite when I
Bentley
was,
si quisieras saber. Suéltalo.
you know, a little kiddo
Mm.
in 1700s. And episode 3 feels so too split, because like the first is like in the speedrun I can almost call it a slog. It's like a mini movie. You have
Nadie tiene mejor gusto
CHD,
para
which
la
is
moda
super
que tú.
slow, and you have this job, which is also super slow.
Yeah.
And then it has the second half, which is, some like to call it a gauntlet, like a second gauntlet of Sly 3. Maybe the first gauntlet.
I think it's fitting, yeah. I like the gauntlet call. The second half gauntlet is Bentley just takes on, you know, 3 of the most difficult, terrifying jobs with big consequences for any mistakes.
So you
but
can
we'll see.
honestly say that 3-3 is maybe the hardest
Vale, Dimitri.
or
Pásame las
easiest
alineaciones y te
episode
luego
to lose a
una.
lot of time in, if you're looking away from episode 5, Battle on the High Seas.
Yeah, Sly 3 unforgiving in its second half. Slowi able to get on the train smoothly this time, which is going to help a lot for the operation. Unfortunately, he may have to do it one more time,
What?
but
What happened with Slowi's screen?
it was weird. Did I miss it? Oh, is there something weird going on?
Well, it was a cat? Okay. This
There
is the
was a
stuff you
cat.
miss if you once you go to capture card.
Oh no, this is legendary. More speedrunner need cat interruptions, cat break-ins, cheering on his runner. He does have the cup. We didn't talk about the cup, but have you noticed the cup? The chalice, the golden chalice, on the bottom right of Slowi's screen?
Oh, I see it now. I was looking everywhere and I did not see it until
It's kind of
I
hard
looked
with
twice.
the black borders or whatever, but I
Yeah,
did
it's-
notice chat mentioning it.
Oh,
You can
there it
see
is.
there
Yeah.
it's full glory.
I did not
You know,
know.
these are things we miss with the capture cards, you know. I think
Yeah.
he's got a great setup here for the webcam. It's been great.
Yeah, this does not look bad at all. Is this the first? Yeah, I think this is the first Nila section,
And
which
he's
is
low on health. He's low on health, and he
Yeah, he got
is gonna
sniped.
die. A frustrating death, but let's see if he can do a little bit better on the second time. Kind of a tricky thing where if you're a mashing god, you can almost just like tank everything, but I have died quite a few times on these
Yeah.
sequences, pushing it a bit
and
too far.
I see Remo pointing out that Slow is a cracked masher, so apparently this is very fast. To me, I need sound to determine if someone is mashing fast. But Remo's done a lot of timing on
They look
mashing.
fast, yeah. You know,
Wasn't there like a almost like a leaderboard of mashing at some point?
Remo might have been doing a service, a timing service, where you could submit clips and get ranked on the leaderboard, get feedback on how good of a masher you were. I am, for obvious reasons, did not participate. I sadly sat that one out, and Slowi making a tough mistake there. He's gonna have to back this up. You gotta climb this pipe a little bit higher. No, the
goose through
the train.
Yeah, I've only
Those
seen that once in my
damn
life.
hitboxes.
That's rare.
Oh,
so
that
rare.
is tough. He had made the correction on the second attempt, but it was just too late, as the geese were fired up and they were itching for some action, and they hit him through the wall. They are
Yep, and they do a lot of
menacing.
damage. They do 20 damage with that attack, so.
So much damage. But yeah, this time you want to climb up kind of to that darker line. You can maybe do a little bit lower of that, just to avoid taking damage. And from
Wait,
here,
I'm third? Holy. Apparently I'm fast enough to get third in
Bronze
the leaderboard.
medal. That's a highly competitive leaderboard. You should
I
be
did not
proud
know
of
I
that.
was on the leaderboard at all.
Gracias, colega. De nada. Te veo en el piso franco.
Fun Sly speedrunning history there. We do have Mapio finally getting to some gameplay here, showing the little hover pack skip and the castle climb skip with Sly. I didn't see any big mistakes as he's off to a good start. About to do some painting, code cracking. Some really cool sections in this game casually.
Yeah, casually, I love this this activity. Once I got it, because I didn't get it right away, so I did waste some hours, but eventually I did get it. And it was so much fun.
Yeah, you know, I could definitely see a lot of kids getting stuck on it. They do try to put the codes like multiple times in a lot of these paintings to help, but
Only
still,
because Slowi's health.
he is low. And maybe one more hit, he can take.
Oh, there he goes.
No. The absolute pain as the Nayla fight showing its teeth a little bit here. We'll see if Slowi's able to clutch it up this time.
Yeah. As Mapio's finished up the first job of 3-3 Hidden Flight roster, I think it's a 7 or 8 minute long job. So there's definitely some time difference between the teams here. But with Slide 3, anything can happen with the right sound lock.
Let me get some splits up. Let me get some splits up for that Slide 3 episode. See what we're up to. We got the rowboat in 50 hertz. He's going to be flying in that rowboat. As Slowi does clutch it up. Slowi put in a really tough spot here. That he does not have to practice on. But I think overall, he did well considering the circle. He did good.
Yeah, that was good. I would congratulate Slowi on the run. That was a very good run for the expectations put in place. I will point out the I've never seen missing a blueprint though. That is, if there's a highlight reel, we have to put that on there.
that is a mean highlight reel, but
Yeah.
it is a very unique situation. Yeah, showcasing kind of how unique that job is, letting you like go indoors and outdoors in the middle of the job without failing. Most jobs, once you're outdoors, you're like outdoors for good, or once you're indoors for good. Maybe not always, but it is kind of rare. Maybe like stealing voices would be another example of that. But
Yeah, where you go back in and back out, inside and outside. Yeah, like if you think of like classic jobs like Lemon Rage, you start outside, you go inside, and you stay inside, right? So definitely true.
They're coming up to the rowboat here. I'm excited to see the speed.
Yeah, I did not watch Mapio, but I'm assuming he's push boosting. So I'm excited to see if he's gonna push boost in this section after the rowing here.
I don't think he's played a Sly yet. I think you start in the tuxedo, you play Bentley, and then you play Murray. I think so.
Well, for the castle climb, you do play Sly, and it's
right.
And it's such a fast. I blinked and I missed it, so I'm assuming you used push boost, because with push boost that gets very, very fast.
If there's anyone who's push boosting, it's probably the Gauntlet world record holder. You know he's good at that tech for sure.
Fresh new world record just the other day, I think, as well. So.
Did he improve it? I remember him getting it a while ago. But Mapio, he's always running. You know, you Mapio stream on a Tuesday. You know, he's setting records and Sly 2, and then Sly 3 on Wednesday. He's doing like Master Thief like runs or whatever. You know, he plays a lot of these, a wide variety of categories, which is fun.
Yep. So here's the part where I'm, because you can sneak in like one or two here. Oh, yep, that's one.
Skipping the wheel. Ooh. Wow, he is moving, ladies and gentlemen.
I think he heard us and wants to show off now.
Oh my goodness, what a great section. Showing the extra gadgets off really, really well. In Slide 3 full game, do you have push boost by this point in the run? I've kind of fallen off. There's the Bentley like coin farming a bit later.
A full game, I'm not as caught up, so I don't know if you get. I know you get push attack and rocket boots eventually, but if you get it at this point, I don't know.
I assume he's saying you don't have it just yet, he says.
Yeah, I think you get it later. As Mapio did get the super jump strat there. Very annoying stuck spot there, but it is possible to get stuck behind the TV and get pulled all the way back to the event, skipping the entire backtrack.
Yep, he's got one more slide movement section here. Getting the ledge grab.
Yeah, the second paraglider as well to preserve the momentum for further is that's advanced tech.
Yeah, you know, a small mistake, but he's still doing it so fast when he's otherwise going that it's really not going to matter much at all, I think. He's doing this job so far really well.
Yep. Mapio is flexing big time in this, this super section, except for the water, hitting the water. Of course. And how fast you do that section does matter for the cycles in this section. So it's a little bit of a... You can sometimes tell how clean or how fast you were, depending on how these water mines, how those cycles are.
Taking the inside path, taking a little bit of damage. That's usual. That's normal.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't get too messed up, should be no problem at all. As
I will.
Diddy.
Go. Yeah, I will also mention Diddy actually playing in Norwegian, which is the faster language here. So he is saving time in cutscenes by default to Mapio. Mapio going for swag, I guess, over speed. And he's now doing the castle climb. Let's see if he's doing any push boosts. I don't see any so far. This is the section where you want to see it if you do. And he does not. It is pretty fast to just rocket
boosting, you know, still quite fast compared to just running. But...
Has demostrado ser el mejor con esos remos.
El Murray siempre es.
This super cool, great castle platforming section versus one circle boost, and it's over.
Yep.
Did you ever do the strat for that, where you would like disguise jump it, like fall in the water?
Yep.
And then,
I was gonna
disguise jump.
Bring it up because you can disguise jump that even if you couldn't circle boost, but you have to hit the water first to set your position on the pipe to get enough height for it.
Yeah,
so
the way
there's
that,
multiple ways to skip it.
The way water like helps in that, I think, is like one of like the coolest things about like disguise jumping and like stored height, like positioning and stuff. It's just a really cool system to like think about. It unfortunately doesn't really come up in the run too often, if at all at this point, but one of my favorite parts about Slide 3 movement time.
Yeah, and even if you've seen the Master Thief challenge that is climbing this castle, you can see that there's even another way to climb this using what's the tech called? One of these infinite. Yeah, one of these. There's so many names. I can't keep track.
You just fly in Master Thief challenges nowadays.
You just fly to the end and you're done.
Yeah, it's a bit spicy. Mapio here taking down the plane. Team Belgium, I believe, isn't too happy about this. Or is that Team Iceland? Whose team is it? It's Belgium.
It's Team... I was going to say Belgium, but this... Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is Team Belgium.
Got the flag.
I saw the flag. Yeah, it's the flag.
But it's like blue, which is what threw me.
Yeah, I was like, isn't those planes like... brown?
Black on when you're actually in the ACES?
I was like, wait a second. Never thought about it too much.
Unfortunately, it is time for a lot of people's favorite mission. So let me see the emotes in chat. Cooper Hangar Defense is here, and you know Mapio's already styling. This is gonna be wild, I'm sure. This is gonna be exhilarating.
Any CHD enjoyers?
He
10
estado
minutes
trabajando para
of
poner a punto la seguridad
fun.
del hangar. Y ya casi está lista. Pero Penélope, mi
And
colega
Mapio
de
sharing
internet,
how much
ha oído
time
que un
he's
equipo
lost
rival
and what has
podría
been a
dejarse
pretty good
caer
run
por
other
aquí
than
para
that one
sabotearnos el avión.
water dip, and he's lost
¿Vándalos? Por aquí.
30 seconds
Si
almost,
pudieras vigilar
basically. So
mientras termino de ponerlos
the
en tomas a punto,
Spaniards
sería
not
genial.
yapping fast enough,
No temas,
unfortunately, in this game,
cerebrillo.
but
Estarás a salvo mientras
That
showing off the
actually
unique dub.
reminds me. I think it was Alapo yesterday did a slide 2 run in Finnish, and I watched it and I haven't seen the Finnish dub in a while, and I can
Yo y
confirm
qué ejército,
it
payaso.
does make sense that it's the slowest dub for
Mm.
both slide 2 and slide 3. That is so slow. I've never seen something that slow in my life.
They have a way with words.
Like no one else, apparently. Slowest
it's
in the
always,
world.
it's always fun to see those runs on optimal languages. Dubs that probably more people played as children compared to the Korean we run on. Oh my! He
Holy!
didn't get up here. Of
Yeah,
course,
that's
Mapio,
news to
you
me
know
as well.
this. Wow! I love.
I had
little
no
platform
idea.
stuff like this. The tech.
I had no idea.
Still dropping down for the optimal button presses. You have to wait on a machine to recharge.
Yeah.
In full games, you want to
uh,
collect points, but here we don't care.
now Diddy is in the is in the roving section. I don't know if he has 50 hertz or not. I'm assuming he does, but it kind of looks too high definition for me. But I am watching it on relatively small screen on through screen share on Discord. So
Are you saying Discord screen share might not have the best resolution or quality? Is that what you're implying?
actually, right now the quality is actually pretty good. So I this looks like 60, like 720p to me, but it's the easiest place to see the difference is on the reset screen, and I did not check the reset screen. But
Sonic is saying 60, yeah. So
yeah,
I
Sonic
think
is
you're
saying
right.
60.
I remember when that boat tech was first found. I remember like clips of Remo playing on like a PS2. So the graphics were very obviously different just from being a PS2. Doing the Master Thief challenge in the episode 5 boating, using the speed there to his advantage. Funny little tech. The games that keep on giving. We'll see how Slowi handles this movement section. Also doing some push boosting. Very nice.
Yeah. Push boosting in this section is really risky, but you can get one in early. That's pretty safe. Oh, and the jump for the end.
The
That's
jump?
only jump. That was a normal double jump. Normally I see
cool.
people push boost, but I guess maybe double
I
jumping
always forget which cutscenes you're supposed to push boost into or not. My chat is always like, you're not supposed to push boost into that. You were supposed to push boost.
Oh, and look at this. He's not doing the super jumps.
Yeah, like
He's just
you mentioned,
R1 tapping it.
Mapio made it look easy, but this really is a finicky trick.
Yeah.
From what I remember, it does save a bit of time, but sometimes you're going to lose more time with that stuck spot being annoying. So if you're not feeling confident in it, not a bad idea.
I think if
to
you
just run it.
I think if you get a first try and perfect, I think it saves 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was thinking around there.
So by not going for it, you save time. R1 tapping is faster than super jumping, obviously, and you don't have to worry that you will choke.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the most awkward stuck spots. You kind of want to get stuck like on the left side of the ledge or like off the thing on the wall, and it's kind of.
Sly being able to like ledge grab back there makes no sense. It looks like it should be a
It's so
really
stupid.
nice stuck spot, but the geometry is a bit whack, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you can also set his position if you land on the TV instead of behind it. You can set your position there, and so many ways to fail it. So.
Yeah. One of the finicker strats, unfortunately.
What's
now
that word?
Slowi's-
Finicky?
I mispronounced finicky, so let's move on. I don't know what I said. We're running late in the commentary booth here as we're coming towards the grand finale of our final round 1 match. We had some exciting weather in Oklahoma morning. Anything going on in Norway?
I think we have sun right now. Actually, what the hell?
Is that
Haven't seen the
allowed?
sun. I haven't seen the sun since May.
Yeah.
Well,
We are kind of dealing with some slower sections as Slowi is finishing out his boating here. He's going to get to the Marine movement, delivering the crown to the plane. No, but legitimately in Oklahoma, I
oh my
was
God, he's
dealing
still
with.
going.
I'm bringing it back. We're going back to Oklahoma. My friend was like, "Yeah, it looks like there might be some like tornadoes or thunderstorms at like 2 in the morning." So I stayed up kind of late to like see if there was anything, and there was nothing. And then I wake up at 5 in the morning to tornado sirens going off. I got like 3 hours of sleep, and I'm like, "Am I gonna die? Do I have to move? I'm so tired."
What, you have tornado alarms?
Yeah,
What?
in Oklahoma, we do a
Holy.
practice alarm every Saturday at noon. They blast that
What?
thing. I'll send you a video of it.
Yeah, that's
And whenever there's a tornado coming, they rip that thing. It wakes you up. You cannot sleep through it unless you sleep like a log.
Wow.
Yeah, we do test it once every week. Candyman.
That's surreal to
Maybe a
me.
little less testing for you, but you also probably get a lot of tornadoes there. It is very one of the weird things that I've got to here.
I don't think I've ever seen a tornado in my life. I don't think that's the thing as the US thing, or yeah.
Yeah, we got the setup for it, unfortunately. Just some exciting weather, but we have moved on. The chopper section here.
What?
He's pausing the game, inverting controls or something. Accidental.
No, I
pause?
think
No?
that was a very quick pause, so probably just
Yeah, just an
accident.
accident.
Oh, it looked so good for the fast cycle for a day here, but
Yeah,
little burn.
I've always found it tough. Like, it would be cool to be able to, skip some of the lines there.
I guess you still get most of the time save because it's the very start where the cycle is tough, or where the cycle actually happens. Also, I don't remember how much 50 hertz saves over 60. I literally asked this in a chat like just the other day. I think it was in the ballpark of like 20
Oh my
seconds.
god! Wait, did you see how much he zoomed? Was that just a Discord screen share? He
But
went
that was
so fast.
You can get a lot of speed. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually matter how much speed you have.
It
As long as
just
you have
looked
enough.
crazy.
If you curve it the right way, you can actually kind of get two pulls at full speed, almost back to back, which can be fast for the last tank, I guess, because here you have to kill 6 tanks here, and the last tank is the one that matters. And you also want to leave only small guards for the end, so you don't have to waste time with a big guard for 2 pulls versus just the one at the end. And you want to hover around this area. He's actually a bit more to the right than I would hover.
Yeah, slightly different spot.
But yeah, basically between where he's positioned and the sort of windmill tower is where people usually position. On the left there.
But we have entered maximum Cooper hangar defense, folks. Bringing on the mugshot section. If you love this job, we've got so much of this job than you could ever want. Again, with super fast speed. What do you think? I haven't super been counting, but maybe 1 or 2 tanks left. Most likely, he's done a couple.
You know, personally, I'm so lazy in this section. I just use my segment timer. I don't even bother to count.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
And I've seen Mappio like type in or like count by typing in his chat when he's doing this section. So I don't think he's counting either, like without typing it down.
Yeah, he did kill the small guards. He had plenty of hangar health left. I wonder if that was a mistake,
did he go one early? Maybe he didn't count and he did one too early. I think he did actually.
No, okay, as we talk about it, a small mistake, but not a big deal. He cleaned it up quickly. No problem. The Spanish may be throwing him off. Yeah, that's a funny potential
That could be
thing.
if you're if you're using the timer. The language could throw him off.
He's like, this should be the end. Oh wait, I'm in Spanish. The cutscene's 20 seconds longer for some reason. I don't know.
Self-sabotage right here. Okay, he's actually going to one of the hardest jobs in the episode now to do perfectly. One of the harder, not hardest. Dream Team Belgium.
I think this is a fun job, though. It's definitely difficult. The guru section can get out of hand.
So
Kind
easily,
of
so easily.
choke up, but I think there's a lot of fun stuff. And compared to a lot of the other jobs, getting
Oh,
some
I would like to
actually-
point everyone's attention to the chat. Mappy was asking Rema, what's the fastest language combination? He doesn't know, because it's different between the dubs. Because in this
yeah.
and in Beauty and the Beast, you have to cycle through 2 incorrect options for the correct option to appear.
I
So
might
you can
have
pick
notes
any
on
option,
this, actually.
but you
Wait a
just
second.
you just want to pick the faster one, and that is different between each dub, or it can be
Okay.
different between each dub. So there could be a different faster combination in Spanish, which Mapio is probably never, or very rarely at least, speedrun episode 3 in. I know he's done it for episode 6 a lot, but
I always ran this game in English. I don't know if it's different from English to Spanish. It might be. But I wrote slide 3 notes on a piece of paper that was at my desk. So if you guys need anything, want to know any of the English codes, if anyone wants to swap to English, maybe, you can ask me, okay?
it's actually interesting because in some sections where like the first job in episode 3, a hidden flight roster, you have to talk to Dimitri and you have to cycle through 3 dialogues to select the correct dialogue 3 times. But
Yeah.
there you're presented with the correct options from the get-go, so you just click the correct option every time, which means it's the same for every language. But in this job and in some others, you just want to fail as fast as possible, and so you can.
I think it's kind of cool how it's like that. You know, they keep you, it makes you think. It lets you see some more of the funny dialogue. I think they're very beloved in this game. Murray's got some great jokes, He's hitting bangers for sure. But we are coming up to the pickpocket. We'll see Mapio attempt most likely a double up on the cough, trying to pick 2 pockets for 1 cough.
Yeah, and it's also a bit RNG here if you get 3 or 4 chunks, and it seems like Mapio's unlucky. I blame Gnist pressure.
Well, you still did it as optimally as you could regarding the unfortunate cursing he received. So cleanly done as he's heading out for the guru. The guru, I think, the funnest non-Cooper Gang character to play as. I don't know if that's controversial because he can be punishing, but he really rewards GSMing, familiarity with guard spawns, things like that.
I would agree with you if it wasn't for the fact that he just can't latch on to guard sometimes.
That is troll. That is very troll, yes.
It's just fundamentally broken. Like, what's going on?
It's the pigs, I believe, in this episode, correct?
Yeah,
so,
it's semi-consistent too. So now that we brought it up, it's obviously going to happen to one of the runners.
Well, he got the first pig. If we curse the Nice with this, I think you might have to write a formal apology at this point, Ganesh, with your cursing here today. He's doing well so far, dodging the traps. Which way is the cart gonna go? No,
Something very small here is that the pigs and the rabbits have vastly different running speeds and jumping heights.
Yeah.
So you may not think of it too much, but if you have to run for a long stretch, you want the rabbit. And if you have to jump a lot, you don't really want to be a rabbit, but it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is a really good section by Mapio. 1 hiccup, but very fast.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't opt to jump on top of the truck to run. I think he maybe could have done that strat there. You cursing him again, Guinness. You're cursing him.
This is Gnist pressure. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Gnist pressure.
God.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, he will jump over it. Oh, did he use an attack animation from the pig there? Or was that weird? Or was that normal? Maybe that was just
looked away.
Seeing things. It didn't look like he just ran over the top of the truck. Kind of looks like because you can do attacks as the guards, right? Like when you're playing as the guru is cool, man.
Yeah. You can, I think it's press square, and every guard has a different attack.
And with his push boosting, man, this truck just does not stand a chance. It's getting caught so fast.
Yeah,
It
in
was
this
in a
section
good
you
spawn,
really,
too.
or in episode 3 in general, you have to think about where you push boost, because you cannot push boost downhill, and there's a lot of hill area, and even some of the flat ground is actually hills in this episode, so you kind of have to know where you can push boost. So Mapio obviously knows this terrain very, very well. Now he's going to ACES, and I think nice, but he makes it in time, even
Prepárate, colega. Casi
Even
es
with
la hora de la
Spanish.
semifinal.
Well, we'll see how good his flight skills are. I don't think he passed the pilot exam personally. I think he stole a license. So, but knowing Mapio, I'm sure he's got to be good at this section too. A section that can have a bit of RNG, but skilled players are gonna be fast at shooting down planes.
yeah, you
Using
can
some braking in ways that can help.
Yeah, you definitely want to break and boost a lot if you want to do this optimally. And you often these days go for the right plane first. You can also go for the left plane first.
Dude,
And
he
there are
looks
different.
accurate, man. He is gunning
Yep.
these planes down, man. Oh my god.
This is what Mapio does to Aces. And I remember the first time I saw a really, really fast Aces, I was blown away, and that was by Avatar many years back now. I just realized how much potential this job has. You can go so fast in this job, and even if like Mapio did a slight little boost there, he could have hit another plane for a free kill. So there's so much room for optimization here, and therefore you can easily lose or gain a minute in this job. From an amazing Aces to a terrible Aces, you easily lose a minute, even on as the same runner. Like the same runner can lose a minute, and a good runner to a bad runner can lose way more. So. Also, if the plane decides to crash like that, you don't actually get the kill credit. Therefore,
It's so annoying. It's so
you don't
annoying.
want that to happen. Even if you did the majority of the damage, one shot to go, if they crash, doesn't matter.
Team Belgium, can you hold it together for just 5 seconds here? Okay, we're trying to have a fair Aces competition. You cannot just respawn somewhere else across the map with a new plane. That's not fair.
Yep.
He's coming down towards the end. It looks like he's managed his ammo well, not well. And as I say that, I'm cursing him a little bit, but
yeah, you want to only refill the ammo once here, and it shouldn't be a problem.
Would be optimal.
Shouldn't be a problem if you're accurate, but oh. We cursed him.
No,
and the problem
he's out. Oh my god.
If he's going for the crash, sometimes the planes here will just boost away from you, and they can even outrun you.
Roll Mapio is a madman.
Yeah, that was
he had
swag.
to go for the kamikaze.
If you press circle, you
yeah.
that was clean.
Next thing you know, he's going to be doing loop-de-loop kills, and you just never know what's coming up with Mapio. Just using all the buttons, all the techniques he can.
He's changing the language.
Where's he going?
He's
Suomi?
Finnish. He's going Finnish.
Oh my god. We have not. Maybe the research team can help us with a time comparison, but it is probably just too big of a lead. You would think, but in 3-3, maybe if everything goes wrong, Dide keeps up his good play.
I mean, all you need is a sound lock in the operation, and it's anyone's game here. That's a really common sound lock spot
equalizer.
as well. So, the Dide is in Frim Team Belgium now. See if he gets better RNG than Mapio got. He's playing in Norwegian, so he knows the fastest combination. Doesn't have to rely on Remo in the chat to save time.
Are his jokes funnier? Maybe the Spanish jokes give a funniness boost.
I would like to point out that Norwegian has Hønefoss. Hønefoss is actually hilarious.
I'm always behind on the PAL memes because I never ran a PAL, so I know there's a lot of funny jokes, Dutch mugshot, stuff like that, whatever you guys love, the actors. bringing the best jokes.
And the Hörnfors joke, it cannot be explained. You just have to know. It's inexplainable.
Unfortunately, inexcluded. But let's see how Didic does. Oh, it looked a little
almost
slow,
failed,
but
actually.
he did get it, and he's gonna get
Damn.
the bad RNG as well.
Both runners got bad RNG.
Yeah.
Also, Mapio is he placed some bombs to mess up this cutscene, so that when the camera is supposed to zoom in on Bentley, it just
Bentley?
shows a random building instead. And it shows them both in
Where
this
are you,
shot.
Bentley? He's getting up and close for this mission. You know, he's got to deliver the facts. Funny little displacement here as he is going to go pick a fight with Mugshot here for the Beauty and the which does feature an important cutscene skip that we saw in ACES race. Was a big deciding point with one runner choosing to not attempt it and one other runner failing it a couple times. So right now Mapio is playing pretty great. Absolutely just goofing around at this point. Admin, he's doing it sideways. Just please help.
Can't believe it. The disrespect on this guy.
With the confidence he's playing, you really think that there's a really good likelihood that Mapio will hit this.
I did see, I think it was Eisen in chat earlier said that the same language combination is faster in this job for all languages, and that might be true. But in theory, they could vary between the different dubs. But it could just be the jokes are just laid out to be 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and it doesn't matter if you save a second or lose a second.
Today wrapping up the Guru chase on his end.
Yeah, I think he's. I think he saved time on Mapio there because that was a lot cleaner.
Yeah, definitely did not have the Gnist pressure as we were distracted commentating Mapio's side of things for a second.
I'm channeling all the Gnist pressure into Mapio right now, so.
And he's got the truck in a good spot. I think he might have to hit a couple push boosts to reach the hangar.
Yeah, this is a really bad position for that.
Yeah. I thought it was good.
He may have to take the sort of what's it called, like the water alley path here if he wants to be optimal.
He better not lower the drawbridge. Is all I'm saying. He better avoid that at the very least. But yeah, he's gonna have to go a weird way.
Oh, he's going across.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Oh, we're seeing Mapio use rocket boots here, which means he has to use a different setup for the cutscene skip. And this cutscene skip saves a minute, so it is a big deal, and also loses a minute if you miss it. So, roughly speaking. So, and it probably saves even more on finish. So. But is he flying? Yes, he's flying.
All right.
And I'm not familiar with the rocket boots setups, so I don't know.
He's doing something different here. Let's see how it goes. I like the visual cue. That might be a pretty nice setup. You're just standing still menacingly.
That does not make it at least. So that's a minute out the window.
A big time loss. But we'll get a second shot at it here pretty quickly. But he should have nuke mode now, right? I think.
Yeah, he needs to hit the water at some point. Or hit a guard. Or guard to hit him. I will say... he's just going for the cutscene. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Because he didn't take in the damage, so I was like, is he forgetting? So yeah, he's just going for the cutscene.
I think smart, potentially. With this big of a lead, I still imagine he's going to be pretty safe just watching the cutscene here. As long as he can avoid any big mistakes or sound locks for the rest of the jobs.
I will say, doing that movement as slide to Carmelita with smoke, with push boosts feels very illegal and very fast. Because even to this day, most runners still choose to run that section instead of rocket boost or push boost it. So it does feel very nice to see it done fast. But that it does mean that you have to do I think it's harder and a more inconsistent version of the cutscene skip. Because this cutscene skip is one of those that feel inconsistent, even though I think it is consistent. It's just we're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
It might be like one of the hardest cutscene skips to get 100% of the time in the game.
just Sly 3, you know, the cutscene skips involve a lot of like guard or NPC like manipulation and stuff, and runners have worked hard coming up with good setups, but sometimes, you know, it can just feel a little weird or off, or, you know, the very minor details can lead to bad outcomes. But today, cleaning up his ACES semifinals, I don't believe he had to refill his ammo a second time, so potentially saving a little bit of time there.
Yeah,
Good
it did
shooting.
seem pretty clean. I didn't pay that close attention, but I did have one eye on it, and it did seem pretty clean. Also, Mapio just killed, or at least shot down Mugshot using the double shot tech, where you cancel your shooting animation by kicking and jumping. So you're essentially shooting at double the rate. It's very if you pay attention to Carmita's health bar, when you get to see did I get to that point, you can see that sort of goes down in bulks of 2, pretty much.
Yeah, some cool Snuggles tech. I remember I was there the day Snuggles brought some cool strat finding to Sly 3. I remember when I first learned it, I kind of stuck with the way where you would like kind of ledge cancel it with like the super jump, I think, and like you'd have to like run off ledges or whatever. This way makes more sense to me. And then I spent like 10 minutes on the kick cancel, like kick whatever, the way most people do it now, and I was a fool. I should have been doing it this way the whole time. This is so much easier.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're referring to. This is some
You don't?
ancient, obscure tech. I have no idea.
Someone in chat back me up. Someone find
It's
a video.
probably some like day one discovery or something.
Yeah, the 2 different ways to do it. The stupid way, the way I did it. And then the smart way, the way I didn't do it.
Okay, so
kind of a
Mapio's
long
going
cutscene.
into a giant wolf massacre here. We get to see the fabled hula strats most likely, and I'm interested to see if Mapio's going for the cutscene skip. It only saves 10 seconds, maybe a little bit more with finish. We get a guard there. I wonder if that is different because it's Finnish. That could actually be.
Oh, this game has some really weird stuff like that, I swear, with like different languages affecting guard spawns for some reason. He does handle it pretty cleanly. He's at half health.
Oh, I think he might be in a spot where he got that shot! That shot connected! I can't believe it!
A little bit of panic, but I mean, he's handling it well, I think. We're going to see probably the cutscene skip attempt.
Yep. Okay, too early. But I mean, it's not that risky to just drop a bomb and try to go a little bit early, and if you end up going a little bit later than you thought, then you get it. So it makes sense to do that. I often do that too.
Yeah, the smart way to mess it up, for sure. But now entering the Wolf Massacre itself, kind of a unique Guru section again with some guard spawn GSMing knowledge.
Yeah,
the big thing to avoid is water. This wolf does not like water.
And the one thing with this section, this section is so easy to mess up and lose time in, or not even mess up, just lose time. But I really like it because there's so much you can do, and everything is down to the runner. Because controlling this wolf can be very, very tricky, especially when the guards like dodging. Like this, both the small guards like to jump and dodge. The flashlight guards are super easy to kill, but the small guards are really tricky. And sometimes when you're close to water, if you have momentum and you run off a ledge next to the water, you bet your ass the wolf will just keep going, even though you've turned around for a long time ago, and hit the water. Yeah. It's very common. Happens all the time. That was very fast by Mapia, so that was a clean.
A good section. The minor cutscene miss, but you know, really not a big problem at all. Handling the wolf well as he's coming to what is most likely probably the last deciding point with windmill firewall here. He's got One cutscene skip. He could try into the trigger. Bet he does.
Oh my god, are you kidding?
A ledge grab
bombs?
and he still does it. What a beast.
Yeah, and he didn't use trigger bomb. That is
smart.
so risky. And also Diddy is doing the cutscene skip now as well with rocket boots physics.
He did rocket boots. Wow, let's see
So
what he does.
we see he's using the same setup, I guess, as and he gets it.
Yes,
Yeah, that looked good.
Nice. Carmelita kicked him the right way. Did the setup well. And
There's a lot of stuff
going to be saving a
happening.
lot of time there. Yeah, we got to get back to windmill. We got to get back.
Yeah.
He's got it set up.
What?
What a freakish setup. Are you kidding me? Mafia. Absolutely crazy run.
I think he just lucked out big time and just pulled it out of his ass, because that did not look planned. Because he went for it with 2 health and he just happened to take 2 hits. It's impossible that was planned. That's not planned.
He is confirming in the chat, unfortunately, that I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's the GOAT, but he did make a miscalculation on the health, somehow still makes it work. This is a massive hack here if you're not familiar with the run, where by entering the first hack as you're dying, you kind of lose collision for the remaining hacks. So he's going to be able to avoid all, have a really chill experience the rest of the job here. But if you fail that, if you go into the trigger without activating the ghost hacks, it is a massive time loss. And it's one of the most nervous points of the whole speedrun.
Yeah, if you know how to do those hacks, you can get away with like, I don't know, a minute or something. But it feels so bad, and actually doing at least the 3rd hack optimally is so hard. Especially as we don't really like practice it to like a top level like we do with all other hacks.
Yeah. What are these bombs? Oh my goodness. My goodness. Is he gonna be missing for the cutscene afterwards? Do you think it's gonna be funny? No, he's back. Dang it.
So they're both in cutscenes now. We'll see if Dide does Hula strats as well. I swear Hula strats was like just discovered one day by Hula, of course, brought up with the iconic reveal video that his sister filmed. And we still do it to this day.
I'm familiar with many hula jumps, but I do not remember a family member filmed video that's a
Yeah,
Mom,
I don't think
get
you
the
actually
camera, get in here. I got a new
you
jump.
wouldn't know unless Hula said that it was a sister film, but you can hear Hula saying to stop or something. I don't remember how it is now.
Yeah.
Stop recording. So it's iconic. So this is basically the normal Hula strats, and I don't think he's going for the cutscene skip either. By just staying in the Banopicom here.
Damage, so I think a safe, smart play. Nothing wrong with that. You'll save a little bit of time on Mapio for not even attempting it if you're not comfortable with it, as it is a pretty precise skip.
I missed it, but apparently, according to Bacon Man, Mapio has just changed language again. This time to Portuguese, which I remember doing a full game run off way back, and that was, I don't remember anything of it. I just remember it was Portuguese because someone in my chat wanted to do Portuguese. So I was like, okay.
If Sly 3 had bottles, I get the feeling Mapio would be cracking the safe right now. He is just, having fun with it, playing well in the sections, but just, he had a big lead coming in from the 2nd episode, and he's showing off a little bit for the ACES fans out there.
Yep. Yep, that is definitely not Finnish. So I guess that is Portuguese.
The operation, these first blimps have some fun strats coming up, but yeah, Diddy wrapping up his wolf.
Yeah, and I haven't paid close attention, but this looks like a relatively fast one. Looks clean to me. Yeah, a very fast ending. And there, Mapio death abused. Oh, using rocket boots here. See if he gets a weird launch because of it. Doesn't seem like it. What is that? Almost looked like he could soar directly to it. Normally, you don't want to use rocket boots in this section because it can kind of mess up the.
He died again. You're not supposed to. You doing?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this. I
Did
mean,
he
I
forget
guess
a blunt, or does he have a new route?
he's just
Showing off.
Showing off. There's no way.
Yeah.
So normally you would go back for the first blimp that he just used again, but you can't take that one and these two and still make the cycle. So you can push boost that if you're good, like Mapio. I guess you can make this. I don't actually know if you can. It looks like you can. So, but it is probably. It actually doesn't look that much slower. A little bit slower probably, but it's not by much. Now it's Diday's turn to do ghost hacks, and he has the correct health.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, just
that
a
was-
little left.
that was like honestly, that was so close.
Yeah.
That's actually unfortunate that didn't work. That was if you were like to pause frame it and be like freeze frame and like quiz, does this work? Yes, no. I would say yes. Like that looked like it was gonna work.
You're failing the quiz on that every day.
Yeah. Oh, he needs to
Now,
take one more damage
the new
here.
mode
This is new
makes
mode.
it so weird. Does he know? Yeah, he does know.
Oh,
Oh my god.
sniped by a stray shot.
Now it should be the same amount of noob mode, right? This is what always freaks me out. Like, do they increase the noob mode on your second death, or do you still just take the same amount of hits?
It does increase, but it's still the same amount of hits.
Yeah.
Maybe one more. I don't remember. Because I never failed this.
I think he's got the right health. It looks like he did it well. He's gonna get one more shot at this.
Ooh,
Oh, yep.
That
that
one
was
I
it.
did not like, but that one works. So okay.
Bit sketchy, but you know, it works. It works. So he's gonna be able to enjoy the ghost hack experience for the rest of these windmills here.
Yeah,
whereas
and
Mapio-
one more thing here is that there's a rowing section in the operation here that we just missed from Mapio. He's on 50 hertz. Diddy is on 60 hertz. So he's losing time when it comes to that part. If it comes to that part, because we're closing in on the end of the match here. It's just the Baron fight left.
Yeah, I think a really fun fight. The plane section is so short. I think it's cool how short speedrunners can make like the Baron plane duel, whatever it be. But the actual fight against the Black Baron itself, actually having some cool strats and good difficulty, I think. So
Yeah.
we can look
This is
forward
the last
to that.
last chance to sound lock. Okay, no sound lock.
Boo! Boo! You should have sounded out of respect.
out of respect, and then potentially lose the match because of all the swag he's been doing.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We need Mapio to finish up his tri-language run here. What a journey it's been. The ACES competition, round 1, ending with the ACES competition here in episode 3. We got a lot more great action coming up while these runners finish up these runs.
Yeah, and so there's 2 sections. No, actually, there's only 1 section left now for Mapio, and it's the fight itself. And there are some exploding strats that he can go for. And it's always exciting to see how much stuff you can get on Black Baron. You can speed it up a lot if you get the right combination. Or you can just push boost it and go safe, push attack and go safe, but it's substantially slower, I would say. Expecting some big explosions from Mapio here. Yep. So what he's doing is he's swiping normally, and he's also, I always forget because I just mash both because I forget. If you mash R1 or if you mash D-pad, I just mash both because it works.
Yeah, I mashed D-pad, I believe, but good heavens knows how much misinformation I'm given today, so I could be wrong. But I remember this strat coming out. That discovery actually came out when I was kind of in the Sly 3 zone, getting used in the prologue for episode 4, panicking, as well as here. I think one of the cooler strats again for Sly 3.
Yeah, and there's 9 guards between each of these cycles, and you could see. Oh my, no, don't. Okay, he's Mapio. What is
Today
happening
climbing
on
without
Today?
the catapult. He
Oh,
loves the
that's
old
GG.
route so much, but yep, Mapio finishing out a good ACES performance. Really, the whole team doing a nice job, bringing home the victory. Good efforts to the Knights as well. They will be falling bracket, not out of it yet. I think they've got a lot of exciting stuff that could be looking to improve for one, and hopefully they'll do better next time.
Yeah, that was that were an entire operation ahead basically, so that was pretty one-sided, even with Mapio's attempts of self-sabotage. Welcome in to all the runners.
Yes, we have the Bombers here.
Hello.
Welcome. Nice job on that race. I do hear my own voice through someone's monitor, which is a little peculiar. But for the interview, I was wondering, how did you guys react? What do you guys think of being able to ban double the episodes as usual?
Well, it's for
changed
sure.
everything.
Yeah, it's pretty surprised because how did the Bombers or the Knights actually ran out of time? Like maybe they messed up, there was no technical problems, so it was just advantage for us obviously, so fair game.
Yeah, I think it really it paid off a lot.
Yeah, 'cause
Slowi.
Did you guys have any plans, or like, did you? Because obviously you could plan out the first 2 bands or first 4 bands in advance, but then did you have any idea? Did you just take your next line of bands?
The draft was exactly kinda as we wanted to. We wanted to get slide 4 as exactly, but we knew Slowi can't play 3 slide 2 episodes, so we just left there. But since we got the 4th, 2 more bands, we could. That was the best point that we could do, and we banned like 2, 3. We knew that Slowi can play those 3 episodes, so it huge task since Slowi isn't experienced at all on episode 6.
Yeah, a big difference. Stevens being able to do a really nice job with that episode. Stevens, how has your prep been for Ace getting back into this slide 2 and maybe other games?
I started finally running like 3 or 4 days ago, and I only practiced 2-3, 2-6, and some 2-5. And 2-6 I actually PB'd in, so when we got the second round of bands, I was like, oh, we're going to an episode that I'm already prepped in no matter what.
Yeah, you handled the big cutscene skips and lures well, doing really a clean job on that episode. Powerman, I know 4-5 is a big favorite of yours. How did you leading off?
And of course we were expecting that the Knights are gonna ban it, so we were planning to get out like 4-3, but then the thing happened and we were okay, let's go 4-5 because it's open, and yeah, it was pretty okay run with some mishaps there and then the unlucky invisible orb, but otherwise pretty okay performance, and I was able to get a little bit of a lead for our team, which was nice because obviously Ostrava I knew wasn't that good at EP5 yet, so it was nice to get a lead to get match started.
And Mapio bringing it home. I don't know what to ask you. You put on quite a show playing 3-3, which I heard you have an unverified record in lately. Do you have anything to comment about your run today?
I gotta say that that's the last 3 episodes that there was left. that episode was the least comfortable I was. So, and since I knew the lead was pretty good at this point, so let's just 5. Let's not. Let's say I don't care, and let's just go for memes.
And I have to ask you, Mapio, that single bomb setup for the cutscene skip, was that planned or was it just something you thought up in the moment?
I feel way more consistency than not doing trigger bomb there. If you saw my record, I failed that casting skip using trigger bomb. So I promised myself to not use trigger bomb ever. Likely.
Okay, and what about the ghost hacks?
I mean, ghost. I thought I had. I think I knew that I need one more hit, and I forgot to take the hit later on. I came lucky as hell. That was lucky, probably.
I think you might have still won even without it, but crazy improv there, making it work still with the double hits. But I think that's going to do us here for your Friday Aces action. Neither of these teams are out of it yet, but the Bombers continuing on in the winner bracket. I believe playing the Sabres next, as we discussed, and the Knights are not out of it yet. Getting some more time to assess their strategy, maybe get a little bit more practice in, take on the fearsome Lumberjacks in the upcoming day. I do not believe that we have any confirmed upcoming dates yet, but for all the latest Sly Gold's action, please join the Sly Gold Events Discord, where you will get all the latest upcoming dates and matches as we continue this great tournament.
Absolutely. So I think a highlight match from here will be the one you can see on the Sabres versus the Bombers. I'm really looking forward to that match now, because that might be a top match. I'm also, of course, looking at the match. I think it's 6. It's a bit hard to read. Lumberjacks Knights, because that one has a certain super cool team.
Well,
the dates are to be announced.
Yep. So keep an eye on the Discord and keep an eye to this Twitch channel. Follow if you haven't. Subscribe. Maybe if you have Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime. But we will catch you next time with more Sly Gold's Aces action.